Yes, of course. Whoop. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Gathering Hall, episode number 326. I think I have that wrong. It is 326. Title card is incorrect. You know what? We're going to fix it live, dude. 326. Episode number 326. Discussion hall number 5. We're going to be doing this in 2 parts because this is a long-ass interview. It is a 5-hour-long interview with Darkside Phil. For those of you that are not familiar with Phil, he is an internet personality. He's been around for a very long time, as you will get to hear many times throughout this interview. I have listened to this interview already in most of its entirety. Brandon has not heard anything. He doesn't even know who Darkside Phil is. So it's going to be interesting to get a perspective from somebody that has never heard of Phil before.
So before we continue, Matthew, all I see is this.
Oh yeah, dude. Sorry.
I kept bringing this up.
I know DSP from fighting game Salt compilations.
So, yeah, I live under what I would like to call a rock. So a lot of drama and stuff, especially older drama, I have no knowledge of.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Also, welcome to the stream there, Banifred.
Yeah, dude. I gotta say, man, you're always here. Brandon's audio is a bit messed up. Matt, Brandon's audio's messed up? What's wrong with Brandon's audio?
Yeah, what's wrong with my audio?
What's wrong with Brandon's audio? What's it doing? Help me out before we get too far into this.
Just too glitched.
Hold on. Let me do something real quick. Let's get rid of this. And this. And we'll leave that on. But we'll put this on. Okay, potentially.
Did that fix it? Are we fixed, or are we still fading in and out of existence?
How's that? Is that better?
Is that better? I continue talking, as somebody who, Matthew, once you just like throw random things at me, I guess I'll learn more and despise some people.
That's better tenfold. Okay,
I'll revere others.
Hopefully also it's not picking me up. I've been trying to figure out a way to solve the issue of the echo that we've got. Like, I've got so many microphones, and they're all supposedly the correct kind. It's a cardioid mic, so it's only supposed. I think that's the right terminology, but it's only supposed to pick up sound from the front. But I guess because this room is so echoey, it also picks me up, and it just sounds terrible. I've been trying to fix that since we moved, and I've been messing around with some plugins in OBS, and I hope that it's fixed. But it also apparently kind of ruined Brandon's audio. We're going to just roll with it for now. We'll see how it goes. If it continues to be a problem, please let me know so I can continue to tweak it. We might get it to be a little bit better. But yeah, so Brandon doesn't know anything about Darkside Phil, and that's exciting. So we're going to just get into this because this is going to be a long video.
Who will be watching the interview from?
Oh, yeah, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
As you can clearly see on screen, this is the side scrollers interview. They're the ones that conduct this. It's Stuttering Craig, who, I don't know if you know him. He was the guy who founded Screw Attack, or he was part of Screw Attack anyways, I guess.
I know. He's on Game Attack sometimes.
Yeah. Attack. And some guy named Adam. So I don't know who Adam is. I've never heard of him. Can't wait to screen cap the facial expressions just like the Chris Chan stream. Darkside Phil is nowhere near as bad. Like, honest to God, he's really not that bad of a guy. He's just a dumbass. Like, that's the biggest problem with Phil, is he's just stupid. And he does stupid things and makes stupid choices and says stupid shit.
The thing about Chris Chan, I don't know if I really brought up, like, near the end when the lady who was like, I want to be the ultimate troll or whatever. You know how you become the ultimate troll? By doing a hard target. Not an easy mark.
Phil has some of the most dedicated trolls on the internet, Brandon. That's why he's...
I mean...
We're gonna talk about it.
So did Chris Chan, let's be fair.
Yeah, but...
They
he's
bordered
in the
on...
same league with the kind of trolling that he gets.
They bordered on, like, a religion around Chris Chan.
Do you know who Wings of Redemption is?
No.
Oh, there's another one, dude.
I thought that's what we're going to be doing next, was Rings of Redemption.
Well, we were, but this interview came out, and like I said, I listened to it today, and I got a lot to say about it. Not all in favor of the side-scrollers either. So before we actually get into this, I guess I need to put where my position on Darkside Phil is. Now, I actually listened to Darkside Phil's streams quite a bit while I was at work over the last year or so, and I don't hate his content. I actually like his content. I think he's somewhat entertaining, but he treats his audience like they're stupid, which really kind of turned me off to him. I was actually a member of his channel for a couple months, and I sent him a tip, because that's what he asks for, tips specifically, because it goes straight into his pocket, I guess. Which, whatever, I don't really care. But I sent him a tip, and I was like, "Yo, Phil, you do this podcast, and there's a lot of dead air. Have you ever thought about maybe having like a backing track or some music playing in the background? Like, I know we don't do that, but we don't really do podcasts either. He's doing an actual podcast, so I was like, some background music might help keep the dead air gone. It might, he's a decent content creator, but not a good person. He's not really a bad person either. He's just stupid. He's stupid. He has no self-awareness at all. But anyway, so yeah, that happened. I sent him that tip, and he literally jumped down my fucking throat. Like, he got so mad that I suggested a change to his stream. It was like this big ordeal for him. I don't know, dude. It just really rubbed me the wrong way, and I was like, I don't know, Phil, you kind of lost me a little bit there. So I kind of, I canceled my membership, and I really haven't watched him in a couple weeks. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with Phil. Like, I don't hate Phil. I think he's okay as far as as a person. I guess I don't know his personality, because it's kind of hard to tell, especially with content creators online. It's hard to tell where the content creator starts and where the person ends. You know what I mean? Like, for me, when I get on stream and I'm talking to you guys, you're getting me as I am. I'm not putting on a persona or a character, or I'm not putting on an act. You're getting me as I am. And I think that's how Brandon is too, because I know Brandon pretty well, and he doesn't change on stream either. He just acts like a douche all the time.
Yeah,
that's Brandon. He's a douche. That's why his name is King, because he's a douche.
Every king is a douche? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, obviously. Narcissistic douche. That's all kings. That's Brandon over there. Look at that big, fat fucking head. Barely fits on the screen over there. And there you go, that guy.
I mean, the way the camera was set up earlier definitely fit on.
Oh my god, dude.
It definitely wasn't fitting on screen.
We need to get started. We have been live for almost 15 minutes, Brandon. We haven't even...
You're the one going on these diatribes. I'm just saying.
We haven't even hit play. All right. Play.
I can't form an opinion until I know what the hell's happening.
Oh, absolutely. How did you know it was going to be the Kings versus Queens? Did I tell you that?
No, but you did tell that the girls are going to be on a team and the boys are going to be on a team.
I guess. I told Brandon before we started the stream that the title of that one was going to be Kings versus Queens. So it's kind of funny that you pointed that out.
You picked up on it.
Side Scrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd
But
like
yes,
to support the show, head
Matthew
over to
knows he's a douche.
patreon.com/sidescrollers.
Okay, normally I don't...
It's time for Side Scrollers on YouTube.com. With me, Stuttering Craig. You got a goal? Go get it. Adam Krigler.
I really enjoyed. They had a.
Wow.
They had like at Game Tech. They had like a Mario Party thing. I watched that for quite a bit.
Hi guys.
Okay.
The G2 community at Patreon.
Okay, yes. Patreon.com/side scrollers. Also, guys, I do have both side scrollers and DSP gaming linked in the description. So check those guys out. Sub to them if you want, if you like what you see here from these guys. I think the interview was conducted fairly decently. However, I do think the interviewers get tunnel vision at one point. So I'm going to attempt and try my best to be objective and to see every possible angle with all the shit that DSP
Well,
has
as
gone
a
through.
person who knows jack about any of this, I'll be the most objective person here.
Yeah. So that's again, like, since you don't know anything about Phil,
I don't know what he does. I don't know anything.
he's a gaming live streamer, dude. That's what he does. And he was caught masturbating on camera. That's how I found him.
Did you hear about the guy
That's the
who?
first video I ever saw of Phil.
Did you hear about the guy who like lost his entire channel because for like a split second he had accidentally like alt tabbed into a browser of deep fake AI porn,
I did hear about that, but
and it
at the
was
same
his
time,
fellow
like,
creators.
yeah, it's kind of gross. But
It's just disturbing.
like at the same time, dude, like, what are you thinking? Like, okay, great, you want to watch your porn, you want to rub one off, fine, whatever, as long as it is a consenting adult and you're watching consenting adults of age, I don't care. Like,
my
but at the
thing
same
is,
time, dude, you're on your live stream.
if you're gonna start streaming, just close out of all that.
your shit. Why leave it open? Like, are you afraid you're gonna never find it again? Like, fucking idiot.
He was paying for it.
What a dumbass.
He was paying for it. But yeah, I don't know. That as soon as you said that, that's the only thing I could think of.
I'm just saying, like, but yeah, he that's like how my introduction to Darkside Phil was. I got to see him to completion on stream.
Or the streamer that had sex and got banned.
Man's needs to know the magic of bookmarks. I'm saying, dude, like, why leave it open?
Right?
Why even risk?
I mean,
it's not just him either, dude.
He was a giant like person, like.
But Brandon, it's not just him. It happens all the time. Like, I can't remember who it was. Alex Jones had porn on his phone that was like, was it transgender porn?
I
can't remember.
I don't know who Alex.
It was something
Jones
like
is
that. It
either.
was like some kind of like something he's like super against because he's like super right wing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was something that he's against that was on his phone. He went to show something on the camera. He held his phone up or something like that, and like like he was switching tabs. That's what happened to him. He was switching tabs, and one of the tabs was transgender porn or like something like that. And then there was another one. The quartering had 4 cream pies in his search history.
You know what that reminds me of?
Oh, I'm telling you, dude.
The freaking
people-
Donkey Kong. I'll shower you with coconut cream pies.
How did they make that line and nobody say anything?
Nobody commented.
There's a streamer I used to watch named Zillin OP. He didn't get banned for 18 plus content, but it falls under the whole make sure your camera's off thing. I'm saying, dude, like, there was one instance where I was live and I didn't know, but I was like doing business related things. Like, I was taking care of stream related crap. I think I was actually working on some new artwork for the channel at the time, but it was just like me sitting here doing my thing, you know. Sure wasn't over here going Phil's face, dude. Oh. Should we watch? No, I can't. No.
Should we watch?
No, we can't show that. What is wrong with me?
We watch a guy holding his bananas.
Well, you don't see anything. If you would have saw something, he would have lost his YouTube channel. That's the thing. It was like you never see anything.
Okay, Matthew. Sitting there, if I'm hearing, I'm gonna be worried.
I actually caught you live doing that on accident and waited to see how long till you figured it out. It was a long time, dude. It was like 20 minutes or something like that. I was just hanging out, just working on stuff.
Yeah, I think I can't remember if it was you or somebody else who was just like, "Oh, surprise stream." Man, it's just in there.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens to everybody at some point. Man's playing in Dark Room Classic, playing Classic Sonic. Was I playing Classic Sonic?
I think that's what you were doing, yeah.
I don't remember.
You were just doing random things. You weren't working on anything, if I
Was
remember
I
correctly.
thought I was working on stuff.
Hey, food's coming.
Anyways, so we're gonna get back to this. Like I said, guys, their channels are in the description. Check them out. Give them some support. We're gonna get right on into this because we're 20 minutes in and we've only 43 seconds. We're doing great.
And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the
I am gonna go ahead and skip to where Phil's actually here because this is a long interview, and the more we can skip, the better.
questions.
Okay, here we go.
Comments and concerns, and we're going to touch them all because
we're gonna touch them,
we've
Brandon.
been assured that nothing is off the table today.
Just like his
and we're going to
stream.
go for as long as we need to
No!
go for everyone.
No, I don't want to think
feel
about
as
it.
good as you can possibly feel, which is next to impossible because we can solve cancer, we can cure cancer today, and find out who shot JFK, and it still won't be good enough for some people. And you know what?
CIA.
Easy.
Sorry. I'm good.
Established.
He was getting too close to the
With
flat
that
Earth
said,
theory.
We're gonna go today, and I'm looking forward
Right.
to diving in deep. And
Oh my
so I guess
God.
with all that
Like, what's with all the like unintentional innuendos in this? We're gonna touch them all. We're gonna dive in deep. Maybe it's because it's all about Phil. Maybe that's what's going on here.
said, let's get into this. I'm excited to bring on Dark Side Phil. Phil, how are you?
Holy crap.
Oh my God, so that's something else that Phil really fucking struggles with is his streams are super quiet. Like, I don't know if we used to have that problem. I don't know if we still do or not. Like my volume on OBS is almost touching the red, but not quite. Phil is so quiet. So if you guys can't hear him, I will turn the audio capture up for the video, but otherwise we're going to leave it as is because Craig and Adam are super loud and Phil is super quiet.
Bill, the camera's on now.
You guys actually did it. I'm on
We
the
did
Zoom.
what?
I'm on the
You did
Zoom.
it.
I mean,
Wait,
you guys
is he
listen,
here?
listen. You guys.
I can't hear you.
Okay.
I can't hear you.
One major,
Joking, I can hear you.
one major like OCD thing. I don't know if you noticed it, but his mustache is uneven.
Whose mustache?
Phil's.
Like, what do you mean it's uneven?
This side is like down to here, and this side is like down to here. Like, look at the two ends of his mustache. One's connecting to almost his beard, and one's like to the bottom of his lip.
Hello, Epic Gamer. Welcome to the stream, bro.
You can see what I'm talking about?
I do. Hold on.
It's really
Can
bothering me.
I... Is there a way for me to...
Hello there, Epic Gamer.
Whoa! What just happened? What is going on, dude? I don't even know. I don't know. DSP being amazed by basic stream transitions while being a streamer himself. I think it's an act.
Yeah,
I think he's trying to be funny. It's
yeah.
just, it's not landing.
Yeah, I think it sounds more like an act than him actually being
Like
surprised.
that's like a pretty consistent thing with Phil is that he
Yeah,
like,
classic Phil.
tries to be funny, but he's kind of not.
Yes. What are you doing?
Okay. Darkside Phil went to, do any of you want to join me on Smash Bros? No, Smash Bros is no longer a feature on this channel, fortunately.
Until the new one comes out.
Until there is a new one, or they add some content to the existing one, or something happens, make me want to play it again.
I don't want to play a stagnant game.
Yeah, I'm done with it. I'm done, and we've moved on.
We've put hundreds of hours into it. That's enough for
We've
me.
done what, like 75 episodes of Smash, more than any other game on the channel. So yeah, we are finished with Smash for now. Until something new comes out.
Yeah, that's... Oh my gosh, that's going to bother me this entire video.
His mustache. That's the problem Brandon's gonna have. His fucking mustache. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You guys have had a good
Actually, we're going to have to pause it here soon.
Food.
Food's like nearing. It's not here yet, but it's
Okay, well,
getting there.
So it's a great show. However, you made the big mistake of having me on your show. As of today, March 16th, you guys are officially canceled. I'm sorry.
guess I will turn them up a little bit.
Nah.
You can't cancel something.
Jesus,
that doesn't care
they're
to be
so much
canceled,
louder
and
than
we don't
Phil.
Really care to be canceled. You can't.
Thank you, Stream
so-
Elements.
We're sponsored by the people out there, so we're good. We're great.
Exactly. When you're not.
Age of Empires 4 doesn't end up accidentally overstaying their welcome like Smash Ultimate did. No, it won't.
It won't.
We're probably gonna do this episode tonight, the Kings versus Queens. It potentially maybe one after this, where it's me and Brandon and Darcy and Amber, or rather, me and Darcy and Brandon and. But it's almost to the point where it's kind of run its course, you know.
Yeah.
If I play it after tomorrow, I won't be streaming.
I was gonna say probably won't be streamed. We don't want to try to do things where we're just constantly playing the same thing over and over. We want, have content that's not like, oh, okay, time to do the Primo official strategy guide for Age of Empires 4.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going to replace it with, because, dude, I don't know. The gaming space right now is just so barren of games that I'm interested in playing. So we'll go back to playing
Retro.
some of the retro games, because we got to finish Aladdin. We didn't get to finish that. Stuff got in the way. So we'll finish Aladdin. And, I mean, we'll talk about this stuff. Like I said, this is a long-ass video. We got to get into this.
Oh.
We're going to continue.
It would continue.
You're not worrying about what sponsor you're going to freak out today because you accidentally said something in the wrong way. It's a lot of relief. You can just be honest with your audience, and that's something that I love about what I do on the internet.
Well, let's get into this.
That-
man. I'm excited to have you on. I think this is going to be a really telling, hour, 2 hours, whatever it may be, 3 hours,
12 hours.
six days, however long it may be.
Don't super agree with his statement.
What do you say?
But like, I agree that honesty is very important, but there's such a thing as being too honest.
Yes. So one problem that Phil has is that he's constantly bringing up his finances on a stream. You guys know nothing about my finances, which is how it should be.
We're
My
secret
my
billionaires.
money is none of your business. No offense, guys, but none of your business.
We're secret billionaires.
Yeah, I got tons of money. Oh, there's the food.
Ooh.
So I guess while he's gone, we'll
I'll have Brianna grab hers.
yeah, that's fine. Just leave one of the tins upstairs. Got two. Bring one down. Grab 2 plates, 2 forks, and I think there is a Starry in the fridge. Yeah. Yeah, he's like constantly bringing up his finances in his streams, which is really, really stupid. Like, Bill, that's nobody's business. Shut up about it. He says stuff like, "Oh, guys, support's been really slow today. It'd be nice if we could hit that tip goal." I can't, and this is where he kind of loses me, because if he was just saying, the support's been slow, it'd be nice if we could get some more tips. Lots of streamers do that, but then he's like, I can't afford to pay my house payment, or I need to buy groceries, or I need to pay a bill. That's where you kind of lose me, dude. That's nobody's business, and you don't need to make it your audience's problem. It's almost like he's guilt tripping them with him, that's where a lot of his problems come from. If he would just stop doing that, it might get better. And obviously stop feeding the trolls so much. He has a really bad habit of doing so. Yeah. Now we have to wait for Brandon to get back. By the way, he has an NBA Jam arcade cabinet. I have Miss Pac-Man. It's currently not plugged in, because last time I had it plugged in, it kicked my breaker and died. I actually don't even know if it works anymore. But it looks pretty cool back there. You can't see it because of the new layout of the streams, but I can see it, and it looks pretty neato. So there is a game you might like on Steam called Henry Stickmin. I don't know if you've heard of it. I have not. What kind of game is it? Is it a platformer, a fighting game? That's something we don't really do. I don't think we've ever done a legit fighting game. I'm terrible at them. Who is messaging? What What is this game called? I'll look it up. Why not? See what it's called. I have a spare copy of the game, but it's basically a game where you make choices and stuff happens with secrets here and there. It's more like a movie in my opinion, but it's great. Oh, dude, these are old. These are really old. I played these years ago. What website were they on? It wasn't Addicting Games. Was it Newgrounds? Yeah, dude, I remember. I played that a long time ago. You had to play them on Newgrounds and Stage. Check out my plates, dude. They got flowers on them. And they're glass. We got a Starry. It's literally just Sierra Mist rebranded. Oh no, I'm giving away their secret. Did you bring a fork? A fork? How am I supposed to shove my mouth with Chinese with no fork? But yeah, the games are cool. They got remade and they made a new one. Yeah, man, maybe we'll check them out sometime. I haven't played them since I was in like middle school. Which we don't need to talk about how long ago that was. I already feel old. Ish. I was in middle school 5 years ago. Yeah, I'd be pretty close. Here's your rice. Oh. Chicken chunks. Oh, shit, son. We're going to review some Chinese. Phil does those on his channel, too. But his food reviews are valid. Neither does Phil. He is very... calls them... No, that's a secret. That's a secret. We do have a plan for our 1,000 sub milestone. If and when we ever get there. That's a little spicy.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
now we can continue with food in our hands.
Good stuff. Tried. Feud review haul live. No, I'm not actually. That was a joke. I'm not doing. I think in order to properly review food, you kind of need an understanding of.
Right.
And I don't have that. Now, I can review games. I can review movies, which I've considered doing on the channel. Actually doing, like when we do a playthrough, after we're done doing like a actual reading and stuff, I've thought about it. So many people do it, you know. Would have to try to find something to add that's a little bit different. Ready, Brandon?
So I was told pretty much after we announced this that you were coming on the show, I was told that you should not come on. I was told not to interview you. Why do you think that is?
Well,
Why do you think that is, Brandon?
I don't know. I don't know anything about him. I assume it's part of what you were talking about earlier. That probably is not a good image.
Probably, dude.
There's also probably the fact that he treats his audience like you said he does.
I mean, considering the fact that the name of the show is, you know, possibly the most hated guy.
Can you guys hear the video when Phil is talking? Let me know.
People don't like me for various different reasons.
I have trouble
and,
here.
You know, they come at me with so many accusations, so many crazy conspiracy theories, and I'm just a small-time guy trying to make content on the internet and make a living doing it and loving the interaction I have with my little audience. And every time that I address it, any of the stuff that they say about me, it's completely counterproductive. It doesn't help anything. It just exacerbates worse. So why have me on a show when people feel like all I'm going to do is not answer the questions you're going to ask me, not provide any additional information to things I've already said? You know, people think I'm just going to be here for a fluff piece or something. Like you guys are going to kiss my butt for 2 hours or so.
They do not. They do not kiss his butt. I will say that. They don't pull any punches with this interview.
I don't know. But
Yeah, that's
also,
the problem.
Also Banford, yeah, you're right.
Like, honestly, that's also kind of on Craig. Like, really, dude? You couldn't balance the audio? Like, literally, there's a plugin for OBS. It's gain. Just increase the gain on Phil so he's equal to your volume. So, you almost need subtitles to hear Phil.
So I don't
Might
think
want to
so.
do something.
I think this is an opportunity for me to come on a show and be honest, transparent,
They're unavailable.
as much as I can. Again, I've already said this up front. I got to protect my family. I gotta
YouTube
protect
can't
my
hear
business.
Phil
I
either.
can't be showing ridiculous personal information about any of that. But at the same time, the reason that I feel this interview will be different from what they're expecting is because I am going to be an open book. On my streams, I try to curtail the nonsense. My viewers are not there to hear me talk about my bankruptcy. They're not there to hear talk about accusations of spending $100,000 on a mobile game or how I groomed someone in the past. This is ridiculous.
I didn't catch that when I listened to this at work. I didn't realize he was under accusations of grooming. That's news to me.
Doesn't surprise me. That's like an accusation that gets put on a lot.
Yeah, that's kind of like the go-to as well for like I know they did it with Review Tech USA too. Like they everybody called him a not everybody.
Pedophile.
Yeah, that's the word. Everybody was talking
Just like
about how
Pro
he's a
Jared.
pedo. Yeah, he and he's not. He has. But yeah, that's what people seem to like default to when they run out of things to say. Like, piece of solid advice for you guys. If you're ever in the middle of an argument with somebody, and during said argument, they resort to insulting, they run out of argument. Meaning you've won the argument. Don't retaliate.
Ridiculous nonsense. They're just there to listen to gameplay. They want to see me play a video game or talk about news or something. And every time it brings up, oh God, he's doing it again. He's entertaining the trolls. Why is he doing it? So now, this interview will be an opportunity for me to finally open up about all these topics. Nothing is off the table. I've said this to the guys here. Ask me anything. I will address every single thing anyone wants to ask me. I don't know how much I can talk about it. Again, there's some legal things going on and everything, but we'll talk. And this will be the focal point from now on. You want answers to all the drama? Watch Side Scrollers from March 16, 2023. Phil addressed it. And if you don't believe him, that's okay. It's everyone's subjective ability to judge whether or not someone's being truthful or not, right? So,
because I have watched this, I need to point out that these two guys, Craig and Adam, while they're doing this interview, they ask a question, an answer. Okay?
Yeah.
And if it's not the answer that they were getting or the answer they want, they ask the same question in a different way.
Yeah.
It's really, really annoying. Like, it's almost like this, instead of being an interview, it becomes an interrogation at one point. Like, they kind of slip from being professional to being very unprofessional at points. That's where I have issues with these two guys. That's why I said I'm going to try to be as objective with this as possible, like, and try to see things from not only Phil's perspective, but every possible angle. And they don't do that at all. It's tunnel vision. Like, they see things one way. And I don't know. So I just wanted to point that out. Brandon, while we're watching this, look for that. Be interested to see if you pick up on it.
You can't make someone believe you, but at least we'll have one situation where I sat down, I answered every question that you.
He does
threw at me,
contradict
and
himself a
even if you
lot
don't
too, though,
ask certain
as well.
questions, I'm probably going to bring up topics
So
that
I know that
people want answers to.
at least some of the answers he is giving are not truthful, because, like I said, he absolutely contradicts himself. But some of the contradictions that he brings forward, I think, are only happening as a byproduct of
Their rephrasing.
yeah, and like it's almost like they're trying to steer his answers in a certain direction. Phil's kind of stupid. Like, not trying to be mean to the guy, but he's not the smartest guy in the world. By the way, the face he's making right now is pretty damn close to the O face he made. His wacky session? Chinese and Phil.
So that way it's all out there, and then we can just move on. I don't want to have this crap on my content anymore. I just want to move on
Don't
with my community
ever-
and breathe this.
Never do that again.
What?
Chinese and Phil, after talking about his wacky session.
That was a really delayed reaction, Brandon.
I was just staring at you silently for like 4 seconds. Seeing if you would have caught on to what you did.
Chinese and Phil. Oh, yeah.
Sigh of relief after today, and I'm hoping that some closure will come out of this.
So
Fair.
nothing's off the table today. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about, which is great. I feel good about that, and I think that's one of the things that, once again, there's going to be things that we're going to talk about that I feel is, as long as you're honest, and we're going to push you on things, Phil.
Which he's not. Sometimes, I mean, you can just fucking tell that he's lying. Like, for real. Also, when somebody says, honestly, my ass is huge, they're lying to you. Usually, if they lead with honestly, I'll tell a sign they're about to lie to your ass. Just FYI.
You need to understand that we're going to push you, and I think, you know, the one thing I've said over and over again is I feel that I'm a fair interviewer to myself, fair interview to the person I'm interviewing, and fair to the audience. And that's one thing to keep in mind as we go along here. So I guess
Could I very briefly just make one statement before
Sure.
we begin?
Or chicken.
I want to publicly apologize to you guys, to your other hosts, to the G2s, and anyone else who likes side scrollers, because for the past 2 weeks, you guys have seen your content derailed because of me. I never intended for that. I kind of was worried it would happen, and it happened. I don't control this black cloud that follows me around the internet as much as I try, but
It's because you try that it happens.
Yes, that's literally what I was going to say. If he would just ignore it, it would go away. But because he's constantly responding to it and talking about it and bringing it up on his streams, and like he says, he doesn't bring it up on his streams. I don't want that in my content. But like, somebody can send him a super chat, and instantly he's on this like 40-minute tirade about his detractors. That's why they stick around. At the same time, Review Tech USA actually said this as well, and I completely agree with him. That's part of the reason why Phil is still relevant. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that people came to Phil's stream to catch his gaffes and to make clips and to laugh at him, I don't necessarily think Phil would be successful enough to do this as a full-time job. We're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's like the best way to describe Phil. He is literally, that phrase was written for Darkside Phil. But it's his own fault.
But I still feel bad about it. It's not your fault that because you decided to have me on your show as a regular guest, that now you had to put up with 2 weeks of drama and nonsense. I'm hoping this, again, will put some closure to it as well. It's not just about me. It's about you guys also being able to say, okay, we did it. We had the interview.
Also, you like how he's gaslighting the shit out of them right now?
Yeah. I am a longtime fan of Screw Attack. I used to watch everything you guys were putting out in the mid-2000s before YouTube.
They haven't put out a death battle in a while, and it makes me sad. I watched them every time they came out.
I'm so upset. That
Screw Attack is done
somehow, and I'm done with it. Like that's why I want to.
Well, death battles aren't Screw Attack anymore.
Never intended, and I hope that we can move on from it today.
So, Phil, you just killed our show by giving us an endorsement. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Oh, you're horrible. You guys suck. I hate you. Oh, you're gonna ask me terrible questions today. I really hate you guys.
All right. Well, let's get
Might
into
hate
some of
them
these
after this
terrible
interview.
questions. And I think this is something that I've heard. The questions that I'm going to ask today, they're a good mix of questions that have been on the internet. They've been questions that I want to know. There's questions that some of your biggest detractors have asked me to ask you. So and I think that's important. I want to get all sides of this. So I think a great starting point for here is when you're streaming, Phil, who is streaming? Is it Phil or Darkside Phil?
Whew. Well, it depends on. Okay, it depends on what I'm streaming. It also depends on what time period you're talking about. Today, you're pretty much almost getting 100% the real me. Of course, every once in a while, it's funny to over dramatize something that's going on. I have a segment on my podcast called "Old Man Yells at Cloud," where I really ham it up if it's a dumb topic I'm talking about and I over dramatize like I'm so concerned about it. Or if I'm playing a game that really is, I'm dying a lot, or I'm playing an online fighting game.
See, here I can kind of see, I think he's making an excuse. At least that's the way I'm taking this. Like he's saying, when I'm doing fine and I'm a normal guy and I'm talking, that's Phil. But when I'm getting pissed and getting my ass kicked to the game and I say stupid shit, that's not me. That's the character. Like that's a cop out in my opinion.
Well, it's not a cop out. It's just a straight out lie because that's not a character. Then a character would be something like Angry Joe, who from the start plays the character.
Better example would be Dr. Disrespect.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Dr. Disrespect
I know who
is?
he is. I just don't know what he does.
Well, clearly, Brandon, he doesn't walk around in his daily life in a fucking giant 80s wig
Oh,
and
like
sunglasses.
Angry Video Game Nerd would be a good one.
That's another one, yeah.
Like
James Rolfe and the Angry Video Game Nerd, two different people.
yes,
Boogie and Francis.
completely different entities. You don't really see Francis when Boogie's on the screen. If you're getting angry and you're starting to digivolve into Dark Phil,
Digivolve? That's a deep cut, Brandon. When's the last time you heard anything about Digimon, bro?
then obviously, it's not a character at that point. It's just you being angry. You can't be like, oh man, you can't get
Right.
it's a character, man. It's all a joke. That's not it.
Yeah.
That's at least how I'm interpreting it.
Well, that's pretty much what I said. I was
Yeah.
just saying he's got this scapegoat where he's like, oh, it's just this character I'm playing when I'm acting like a dumbass.
And
Oh,
he's
and
never
it's-
out of character.
Besides the fact that, it's unfair, it's bullshit, I'll always ham it up. But that's kind of my shtick. That's always been kind of my shtick, and I think my actual fans know that. But, the internet wants to pretend like otherwise. As if you have never watched my content over the past 15 years that I've been a content creator on the internet, you would have seen.
I'll tell you, I've not watched
This
your
is-
content in the past 15 years.
Brandon, get ready to hear 15 years a lot.
So I'm assuming he's very proud about his
a
number.
lot. I don't know if it's necessarily that he's proud. I actually like.
I feel like
Hold on, let me finish.
I feel like in his mind, it's a validation.
Let me finish. So, I think Phil, and I'm not trying to be like mean or hateful or whatever. I honestly think he might be on the spectrum. You know what I mean?
No.
Like you think of Is it? What is it,
Jennifer, do
Brandon?
you know what he's trying to say? I don't know.
It's. I can't get ADHD out of my head, but that's not it. It's not Alzheimer's either, Brandon. What am I trying to think of? Autistic.
Autistic.
I think
Okay.
he might like a high functioning autistic. I think that's where he might be because of his social skills are kind of weird, and he lacks a lot of self awareness. I don't know. He just kind of he strikes me as somebody that might be, and that's not a bad thing. But if he's going undiagnosed and treated, then it would explain a lot of why Phil does the things that Phil.
Maybe. Anyways, let's continue. I thought it feels like a validation to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the shtick that I do in certain situations. But today, I am so different than how I used to be. You know, when you've made content for 15 years, you go through several different.
You ready to hear it?
stages of
A
evolution.
lot. I'm telling
When
you.
I started on YouTube way back when, it was all about being a character. It was about over exaggerating. It was about being dramatic. It was about saying the risque thing that's going to get people talking. What did Darkside Phil say in his playthrough today? Are you kidding me? I can't believe he said that. But what happens is over time things change, you know, and there was really, how can I say, almost like an epiphany to me. In 2017, a lot of different things changed in my life. I had a lot of things that kind of rebooted. And business-wise, one of the things that rebooted was I went from being someone who focused on on-demand content, you know, videos that you would digest and watch offline, versus being an interactive online streamer. And when I became an interactive online streamer, I realized, wow, wait a minute.
Dude, I don't even
I've been
remember
doing
what
this
the
wrong
fucking
whole time
question
because,
was.
like, for, you know,
You?
8+
Yes, I do.
years,
It's
I've been talking to a camera and pretending like
who do we see when you stream, Phil or Dark Phil?
Right. This is why this video is 5 hours long, because Phil
Goes on tangents.
does not stop talking. He can't just say, like, yeah, you know, occasionally I play a character, I ham it up a little bit, but in reality, I'm not really like that. Done.
Well,
That's all you
I
have to
think it
say.
would be.
He doesn't have to go into his
I
fucking biography,
I would
dude.
have like I think what he's trying to say is I typically stream as myself, but when I'm getting angry or something, that's Dark Phil. Because I
guess.
hyperbole it.
I guess.
I think that's what he's trying to say, but you know,
His mustache is uneven. That is driving me nuts.
now that you've noticed it.
Thanks, Brandon. I hate you.
I have an audience live watching me. What the
First
hell
thing
am
I noticed
doing?
when he popped into
And once I
screen.
started having an interactive conversation with my audience.
His facial hair really irritates me. Like, mine's kind of jacked up right now. I need to shake from it a little bit, but his is weird. I don't
Because
know.
like it's really thick here and then it thins out. And then you got the mustache which goes to like here. I don't know, it's really obnoxious.
Audience.
It looks like he's trying to do like a 5 o'clock shadow goatee. Like his mustache isn't, but his goatee like down here is 5 o'clock shadowed.
Are we seeing Dark Phil or Phil plays Star Wars prequel trilogy? Let's come what it's like, dude. Like, holy shit. It's one question. Oh my god.
so
Let's
much
go.
better, this social experience of having meaningful conversations, seeing their live reactions to things I'm doing on stream. And so I realized I don't have to be a character anymore. I could just be me. I could just talk with these people and be honest.
Unless you're mad and
games or whatever.
Then
Throwing
you're
a
a
fit.
character
Yeah,
apparently.
And then
every
he's a
once in
character.
while there's an exaggeration.
See what I'm saying about the contradictions?
But that's part of the fun of it all.
Like,
we're not all just here to
it's
be Mr.
filled with
Serious all
contradictions,
day.
this
How
interview.
boring would that be? But at the same time, yeah, today I would say I'm a lot more laid back of a person, and I'm a lot more honest and transparent with my audience with the discussions we have. Although every once in a
Like, there I can kind of agree with him a little bit, because like I said at the beginning of the stream, I had been listening to his streams while I was at work, and yeah, for the most part, his streams are fairly laid back, and it's pretty casual. But there is the occasion where, like I said, somebody will send him a super chat or tip and just mention something. Like, somebody, I can't remember what game it was, but somebody asked him if he was playing on easy, and he lost his fucking mind. He absolutely lost his mind because somebody assumed he was playing on easy. I don't remember what game it was, but it's just like those moments. It's like, what are you
That's-
doing, dude?
As soon
Stop.
as he gets a tip, it adds 1% to his Dark Phil meter. And when he reaches 100% during the stream, that's when all hell breaks loose.
Is that why he's got the tip goal? I've never understood that.
The tip goal.
Yeah,
I don't
like-
either. I think it's greedy.
It's not really.
Like
I don't have a problem with him necessarily having a tip goal. It's like, to me, it's no different than somebody saying, you know, I have a sponsor. I'm being paid to show
like,
this thing. It's just monetization of your. That's fine. Whatever. Monetize your content. Like, I don't have an issue
I
with
think
it. I
if,
just think
I
I don't think we're gonna ever have one. I don't
like if especially if they give back like a streaming thing I started watching, they did a thing where like when they got to like 500 subscribers on Twitch, they did a giveaway. And they said next time they do 600, they're gonna do another giveaway.
Yeah, I can't really do those on YouTube.
Oh, I know. But I'm
Against
just saying,
YouTube's term of service.
is it really? I
It's kind of like a gray area. Like, you're kind of allowed to do them, but you're not really supposed to.
Anyways,
It's something like,
I'm just saying, like, if there's a benefit to the community that you're like blaring the goal, then I'm not as adverse to it.
I don't have a problem with it necessarily. I don't understand why every like it's lots and lots of creators have them on. Like, I don't know. For me personally, it kind of rubs me the wrong way when I'm watching a stream.
$5.
That's where there's a problem.
Yeah,
That fucking bitch,
yeah,
dude.
hours to watch me, but we don't got $5. Anyways, let's continue. That doesn't
Well, hold
matter.
on, no, you brought this lady up. Now I want to say something about her.
We gotta continue.
Okay, we'll
we
continue.
We will bring her up at a different discussion hall. We got 5 hours.
$5 a month. Fuck that bitch.
Obviously, everyone wants to every once in a while ham it up and be a cartoon character, joke a little bit to get a little laugh or a little rise. But for the most part, I would say what you see today in my content is more authentic than it used to be.
So,
So do
dark
you
side, so dark side Phil is your hamming it up, and right now you're just Phil.
Yes and no. Again, I mean, it's cool to be.
Well,
able to kinda-
what is it?
Hold on.
He
No.
literally said before his 800 essay on the 15 years of YouTube or whatever streaming site he goes on, he literally said, you know, when I'm doing good, that's Phil, but when I'm doing bad and I'm hamming it up with my old man yells at clouds, that's Dark Phil. Yes and no.
Which one is it, dude?
It's both. Whichever, so that way he doesn't actually have to give a straight answer.
See, like I said, there he kind of loses me a little.
Like,
Well-
you know, like
You can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying?
I think his plan, his ideology on this is, if I speak enough, they'll forget the question.
No, I just think he likes to talk.
And
You're kind of like that too, though. Like,
I do, but
sometimes when
I
you
will-
when you get on like a little soapbox, dude, you go for like 40 minutes. You don't even take a breath. You just keep going. It's like, oh my god, Brandon, shut up.
Yeah, but I at least answer the question first, and then I don't go back
and
on
you don't
it.
immediately contradict yourself as soon as they follow up with the question.
Anyways, let's continue.
what does it when you say there are times that I'm over the top? Like, give me an example of what that means. What does it mean when you say, well, I'm over the top, and why would you if the internet has changed, right?
I will say he is right about that one point he made where he was like, the internet over time has changed where like 2010 era YouTube, you could say and do a whole lot of other shit you can't do now.
Yeah. The like just public perceptions have changed drastically from like 2000 to 2010 to 2010 to 2020. It's crazy. Again, go back and watch some like old stuff, and you'd be like, Ursula's a good example. You got your looks, your pretty face, and don't underestimate the importance of body language as she dry humps the air. You're not gonna have that anymore.
No.
The good.
I forget I think it was the remake of Aladdin. Like, they literally had a disclaimer at the beginning of Aladdin talking about how stereotypes are bad. And
No. If you want to talk about modernization killing a movie, it's Mulan.
the new one, yeah. It took all the fun out of it.
And then made the villain a shape-shifting woman that Mulan falls in love with.
Okay.
Anyways,
I didn't watch the live action.
I watch reviews for it.
But yeah, yeah, we'll just continue.
There was a point you are correct in saying that back in the early 2000s, into the, when you kind of rose to prominence, there was, you took your personality and you put in a little, it would exponentially make it a little more over the top. But the internet has changed to authenticity. People want to get to know, and I don't disagree with you there. But when you mix,
I don't super agree with that either.
Don't agree with that at all.
I don't agree with that at all, because there is like almost nothing authentic about the majority of entertainment
and like the people who want to get to know are the type of people who like think they're friends with their streamer, and those people can be very, very dangerous.
Yeah, I actually just saw a news story where this fucking psycho stalker found or followed or went to a podcaster's house, broke in through a window, and shot and killed her and husband.
Yeah,
So-
it's not a space like, because like it's not like sit down and I'm going to tell you my life story. They just want to watch the content and enjoy the content that you give.
Well, what he was saying is we went from being able to like the raunchy kind of commentary and the to where everything is like hypersensitive to political correctness. It's exhausting to me. We don't get political on this channel, and I don't think we ever will.
No,
But
if we do, that might be. I don't like dealing with politics and stuff.
I will say that I think the hyper focus on being politically correct, being at the forefront of this movement, for lack of a better, has kind of taken forefront in terms of content creation. Like, that's the thing that people are more concerned about than making a good product.
Well, that's because if they don't, they get destroyed.
Yes.
Comedy
in general is literally dead. Because what is comedy at the end of the day?
Making fun of
people. Like, that's what comedy is. It's laughing at people. And people have lost the ability to laugh at themselves. And it's a huge problem. Like, I don't think, people don't really take the step back to look at it. Like, there's a lot of discourse and tension and stress in the world right now. And comedy would be a fantastic thing to have, but we can't have it. That's kind of where my stance is. It's exhausting.
It's very because again, if you say or do one wrong step, the entire internet turns against you, and it could be just like a.
It's not just the internet. Like, they don't just ruin you on the internet either, too, dude. Like, people have been fired from their jobs, their careers.
But
they've lost touch with family over this kind of shit. It's ridiculous.
The worst part about it is it could just be like a accidental Freudian slip.
Yeah, perfect example. There was a weatherman. He was trying to say Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. He tried to say it too fast, and the words got jumbled up, and it sounded like he said a racial slur. Keep in mind, that happens, it was live, and it happens to everybody. It just happened to me the other day. We're not going to talk about what I said.
You're going to tell me.
Brandon knows.
You're going to have to tell me I forgot. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what it is. But it happens to everybody.
I won't say that on stream.
No,
man.
please don't. We will get banned.
No, I won't say that one on stream.
But but that weatherman was blacklisted. He lost his job and will never work in a news station again. So all of his schooling he went to become a meteorologist,
all the money he paid,
right down the shitter, because he's human and fallible and fumbled some words together. And it's ridiculous.
Anyways, let's stop talking politically and just continue.
Okay, we're gonna continue.
We could go on this for days. I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you're sending mixed signals to your audience. And
yeah,
most
kind of.
people, they haven't watched you for 15 years. The idea of saying hey, I've been on the internet for 15 years. You should know how I act. But the reality is that most people see you through clips, through Twitter
or in my case, clips of you whacking your Philly dong on stream. I'm telling you, Brandon, like after the stream is over, you have got to watch.
I'm not gonna watch
You've
a guy.
got to watch the video. It's
I
hilarious.
don't care. I'm not gonna watch a guy.
Brandon, it doesn't look like he's doing anything. He just kind of sitting there going, and then he goes, he just like,
I don't
and
care.
it looks like he's fucking dying. Ding Dong does not. Yes, it does. Absolutely. Coin that. Put it on a sweatshirt. I'm wearing it tomorrow.
Gonna be on our first merch.
Oh shit, merch. Maybe we might have merch someday. I think the Gathering Hall logo would look really nice on some.
Or YouTube, and they don't know you. So regardless of how long you've been on the internet, I mean, I've been doing this forever, and the vast majority of people watching right now have no idea who I am. So you know, you treat every viewer like a potential new viewer. So I don't know, kind of walk me through that, because I do think that's kind of, you know, like, provide me with an example of what DSP is versus Phil.
Sure. Right now I'm playing a game. It's called Wolong Fallen Dynasty. All right.
Oh,
It's one of these
God.
Apparently
games
Wolong
that
is a
it's
piece of
not
shit, dude.
FromSoft, but it's very much meant to be like a From Software style game, like Dark Souls or Bloodborne or Elden Ring. It's ultra challenging. Things are going to kill you with 1 to 2 hits, right? In my opinion, this is my opinion, it's not very good. A lot of people disagree with me. They love this game. Okay, I don't like it. I think that
Move
it's
on
not
to
enough.
another
I feel
question.
like it's
For a
too
second, I was like,
it's
what the
not
fuck is that?
polished.
And why is it popping up?
I will say those
Ah,
things
it's a video.
in my content. But in the heat of the moment, if I'm running through a stage and I get, oh, instant kill, cheap death, I freak out. Oh, you son of a bitch.
I mean, they're really getting
Sucks
fixated on
ass.
this
It's
Dark
the worst
Phil
game ever. The
thing.
game devs don't know what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. That's the dark side.
What?
I feel
This
over
dark
the top
side,
of
you're
some of the
talking about
content.
tunnel vision.
I
They've
could
already
just sit here
started.
and say nothing and be like, oh, that sucked.
They got their answer. Then they asked
People don't
something
really tune in
else.
for that. In fact, the
And then
reason people are
they
watching me play
didn't
that
get the
game
answer
is
they
they
wanted,
want
so
to
they're
see the
asking it
stop
again.
action.
Yeah, that happens a
Yeah,
lot in
no,
this
but-
interview, and it's really frustrating. Like I said, they lose the professionalism because it becomes an interrogation. Honestly, it kind of becomes almost like a bullying session, which is why I have issues with the interview itself. Like, for the most part, it's fine. Like, the interview is
We
But-
can talk about this later. Continue.
I know, it's a long video.
I know, you keep pausing it.
But yeah, I'm going to keep pausing it. We're talking about it. We're discussing it. We're reacting to it. I'm not going to sit here and just watch the video and be silent through the whole
No,
damn
I mean,
thing.
I understand that, but what I was saying, I was just answering your thing that's already started, and you gotta pause it and be like, this interview that we've not finished yet, I got words to say about how this interview's conducted.
Oh, you better get comfy, son, because I'm going to stop it a lot. I have, like, almost every single question they ask, there's, like, a problem.
We're gonna do a 5-part series. We're just
This is
gonna
gonna
watch.
be, this is going to be a 20-part
We're just
series, guys.
we're just gonna watch an hour per thing because we're gonna pause it for like 4 hours. So
Get ready.
I don't hate the game. I don't hate the game devs. Of course I don't. You know, they tried to make a good game.
I'm looking forward to Elden Ring
I don't
DLC.
think it's great, but you know,
Expansion,
you
Brandon,
go
don't call
over
it
the top every
DLC.
once in a while. Now,
DLC
just-
But is
expansion.
that just something that Phil would do also?
Right.
Well,
Uh,
Phil would do that, but Phil wouldn't be like, for example, okay, the game killed me. It's a cheap death.
Every time
You
Matt
really think
speeds,
that I'm that
yeah,
bad about
every
it?
time I pause it,
It's
it
a
speeds up
game.
by 1%.
That's a big
every
deal.
time
Everyone gets
every
triggered by
time
game.
Matt
I
pauses,
get-
we'll
I
have
get
to take a
triggered,
shot.
exactly, and I allow that.
I
to
have some
flow
alcohol
freely.
upstairs,
A
Brandon.
lot
You
of
wanna get
people
drunk?
filter.
It's Friday. I don't got to
What
go to
they
work
say
tomorrow.
Neither
do.
do I.
I don't really want to drink.
We'll do
Right?
Age of Empires every time we lose a soldier. We gotta
I
take a
want that
shot.
opportunity.
Every time we lose a civilian or like a person.
So what happens when they wipe out like an entire platoon, Brandon? Here's a fifth of fireball. Oh, Darcy's mad at me.
What?
She wanted me to go to Walmart with her, but I don't want to go. I've been on my feet all day. No.
I have never filtered myself on the internet. That's why a lot of people don't like me, because they don't want truthful reactions. They want Mr. Marketable, Mr. Smiley, and
Wouldn't that go
when I
back
say
to the
things like,
olden
"Oh,
days of
this
characters
game I really don't
that you're
like
saying
because
doesn't
this is
exist
unfair."
anymore?
Do you think that game company's happy about it? Of course not.
Am I
You know,
wrong?
But
Yeah,
you know,
but Phil, hold on. Like, do you think that they're really? Do you think that those game companies are like looking to establish a relationship?
What does
with,
this
like,
have to do with Phil? Now we're just asking Phil, hey, how do you feel about game designers?
Well, no. This question is stemming from they asked.
When like
Get closer to the mic, dude. Put your face,
Dude, I forgot what they asked Phil. I
did
forgot.
too. Like I had it and then I lost it.
was asking him something like, give an example between Phil and Dark Phil.
Yeah. And he was bringing up Wolong and about how.
Yeah, but now we're going on another tangent about this. That's going to send to another question about the development and what they are thinking. We've gone down the back roads of this interview already.
Yeah, let's continue.
Like they're not. I mean, the reality is that these companies are looking for streamers who stream to 5,000, 10,000 people,
Correct.
as opposed to a couple hundred. And
That's right.
like whether it's you saying or DSP saying it, I don't. I think that if people were watching to see those over the top reactions, I think they were watching for that a decade ago.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
I really mean that, right? Like
They definitely were. Like that was what was popular. You know?
Mm.
That's what was huge on YouTube. And it's really not so much anymore. Like the big stuff now is like your Mr. Beasts and Rober.
A lot of money flexing.
Yeah.
That's really what it's become.
Yeah. It's kind of gross. Like
Have you heard
I've literally never watched a Mr. Beast video. I know
haven't
nothing
either.
about the guy.
Have you ever heard of the speed streamers?
No.
They're some of the worst people on this earth.
Are they $5 a month, lady?
No, they're worse.
How are they worse?
Because that lady
Are they as bad as like the Dads Against Predators guys?
I don't know what that is. Oh, you talking about the guy I think they're worse. And let me explain what it is so you understand. They're not greedy, they're stupid. By stupid I mean they start streaming on their phone and then drive 100, 200 miles an hour in a populated area.
No, I haven't heard about that.
Swerving through cars and doing stuff like that. They're literally going to kill themselves and others.
Maybe that's what that guy when there was a little bit of a side story, but there was a guy. I was on my way to a thrift store that's local to us, and he pulls up behind. I'm in the passing lane. I was passing a semi truck. I was in the Mustang, and this guy got so close to the back that I literally couldn't see his headlights. That's how close he was to me, and I saw him coming from like a long way away, and he was like going in and out of cars like this, right? And I was like, I don't think so. So I did the very responsible thing. And when I got past the truck, he tried to fly around me in his Honda Civic. You know what I did? You know what I did, Brandon?
You did what you usually do to speed up, pass him.
I did the responsible thing, and I floored it.
Yeah. I do a thing. If I see somebody doing that stuff and like there's a semi I have to pass, I just stay right next to the semi.
Yeah, but then you screw everybody else on the highway.
And
Typically,
usually there's not enough people for it to screw over because when that stuff is happening, it's like at least when I see it a lot, the roads are fairly empty.
But usually I'm not like that. I don't do that. That guy deserved it.
Anyways, continue. I thought I'd bring that up.
I had a character named Evil Craig, right? And Evil Craig was meant to be the essence of just the internet troll, right? I did it for 10 episodes, 12 episodes, whatever it may be. And I stopped doing it because I realized that I was growing an audience of people that were negative and trolls, right? And it's funny. It was funny, and it was so silly, but by you starting with the idea of saying like, look, I'm going to overreact big. I think there's two prongs to this question. Number one, if people were really
what
watching
question?
I still think we're on the who is streaming, Darkside Phil or Phil.
No, you would be.
No, I swear to God, I think that's what we're still on.
Oh, we're still on question one, but this is the.
Is like.
But which sub question is he on now?
It's like, you know how sometimes you got like those papers where it's got like one and then like a sentence and then it's got like a
branching path,
bullet point, and then it's got a thing and then a bullet point and a thing.
I was
and a bullet
thinking
point
like
and a thing.
kind of like a family tree, how it's like one and then branches off into two, and those branches off into two, and those branch off into two, and those branch off into two.
I think mine's more apt. I think mine fits better because mine's like a subset. Like that's what this is. It's a bunch of subset questions of the original question, and we're just going in circles.
But it's
can I play this at a higher speed?
Yeah.
Playback speed. 1.5.
The problem is that the question he's asking right now, the like two-pronged thing, was never really addressed.
What do you mean?
The question he asked is, who do we see streaming?
Mhm.
So what does that have to do with the community?
Because they don't let him finish what he's saying either. Like, he was trying to say something about how he plays Wolong and, you know, he gets mad at Wolong, but that's Darkside Phil when he's
But
mad
like,
at Wolong.
this has nothing to do with the community. Right now, we're just asking who's the one doing it. The community would be a separate issue entirely.
I don't know, dude.
Anyways, let's continue.
Reactions. Don't you think they'd be making clips of that instead of other clips that they were making, and those would be going viral? And number two, if you're really not enjoying the game, why play it? Why play it in the first place?
That's a great question. That's something that's actually been.
But start with number one though. Start with number one. Like, what if?
Okay.
If people...
I have an issue with that.
With what?
If you're not enjoying a game, don't play it, which is fair.
Yeah, like that's why we don't play Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart anymore.
But a game like Wulong Dynasty, I'll just say Souls-like games in general, you're going to get angry.
Okay, so there's a pretty big difference between getting mad at a game and
not like
raging at it and, you know, struggling through it and not liking a game and not having fun with a game. Like Elden Ring is a great example. I got pissed at Elden Ring. That's the maddest I've ever been on stream in a game.
I've never been angry in Elden Ring.
Like, that's the maddest I've ever gotten on stream in a game during Elden Ring. Doesn't mean I hate the game. I loved it. In fact, we started a second playthrough co-op, which I wish we would continue.
I mean, I'd be down to just, because we don't have to stream it. We could just play.
We could just play it because nobody watches us play it.
Yeah, right.
But versus a game like Mario Kart where I just simply do not have playing it.
I don't either.
So there's two big differences.
And from what sounds like, if he doesn't like I don't know. I think the Souls-like game in general is really hard to like use that as a reference for this question because like in the moment, like in a moment when you're angry, you'll be like, I fucking hate this game. It's a game bullshit. And then you'll take an hour off, and then you'll be
absolutely
fine.
Like
I'll never forget your
made me throw my controller. I haven't done that since I was a small child.
I'll never forget your reaction in Lindell Capital when you walked up and the rat dragon just popped out of the ground. You just went,
that was so sad. I hate that fucking thing, dude. All right, moving on.
We're watching to see your over-the-top angry reactions. Don't you think they'd be clipping those as opposed to clipping other things?
Now, that is a good point, though.
In truth, yes, I don't know what they clip
because a lot of the compilations of Phil are of Phil saying and doing really dumb shit, not necessarily his over-the-top reactions.
Which
so if that's what people were going to him,
more reviews.
Like if that's what people were going to him to actually see, that's what they would be clipping, and I think that kind of flies over Phil's head. And Craig's absolutely right about that one.
I have so much stuff on the internet about me that I don't really watch a lot of it. I hear it secondhand from my viewers or in a chat or whatever. No, I understand what you're saying, totally. Case in point with Wolong, there's totally some people who are turned off by this playthrough, and they're like, I don't want to watch Phil play it, because he's going to get angry, and he's going to turn into this rage ball that we don't like watching. We like seeing the real Phil. At the same time,
it is the real Phil.
Or it could also be a case of, like, I don't really know much about Wolong other than the fact that it's a Souls-like game and it's made by Team Ninja.
I've seen the PvP of it.
Like Team Ninja, me and Team Ninja have some history. So I'll probably never play a Team Ninja game ever again.
What history do you have Team Ninja?
I made Other M, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they're the developers behind Wolong, aren't they?
Oh.
Wolong developer is indeed Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo.
Yeah, no, yeah, they're dead to me.
Yeah, so I don't like Team Ninja.
To be fair, most of the gameplay in Other M was fine. It was the story.
Yeah, and the story. So I guess that's true enough because the story for like we are going way off the. But the story.
Hey, we're just doing what the interview's doing.
But the story for Other M was actually written by the director of the Metroid series, and the game was developed by Team Ninja.
So
Team Ninja actually did a fairly competent job with the game, kind of like.
I mean, there were things I did not like about Other M. I mean, but like any
The
game.
fact that they limited you to using the Wiimote by itself, Brandon, is fucking retarded.
Well, that and like if you're talking about just like pure gameplay thing, like the charge shot jumping and then just blowing them was so much more effective than anything else.
Yeah. And do you remember having to use missiles? Do you remember how missiles worked?
You had to point your Wiimote at the
Yeah.
screen. Yep.
Which went to first person mode. And then like the final boss of that game forces you in the middle of a fight to use missile. It was terrible.
What was the final boss of that game? I
Queen
beat,
Metroid.
That's right. I was gonna say I beat it. I just
Well, kind of. Fantoon was a secret final boss.
I don't remember if I fought Fan.
Fantoon was actually pretty cool. Like, real.
But yeah, like, gosh, the butchering of the only good thing that ever came from that was Anthony. Anthony was a badass.
Anthony for Smash. We've been saying it for years. Come on, Nintendo.
His final smash would just be the giant plasma cannon he shoots Ridley with.
Come on, Daddy Sakurai. Bring me Anthony.
Told my audience, I don't like this game. I would like to move on. This kind of does meld into the second half of your question as well. I've been very transparent with my audience about this game. I don't.
I'm
like
going
it.
to slow it
I
down
feel
because it's
like-
actually going to...
Which second half are you talking about? The first second half or the
Alright, well,
third
if we're
second
playing a
half?
soft game, why don't we just do a second run of Elden Ring, a new game plus run? And a lot of people are down for that. And others are like, no, Phil, we like seeing you rage. This has been a part of your shtick for 15 years. This is a lot of the reason why we tune in. I'm
Wow.
seeing more attendance on my Wolong streams, and I'm getting more, honestly, more support on my Wolong
But I wonder if
streams
that's
because-
actually... I wonder if the attendance that he's getting on Wolong is good. If it's actually people interested in watching Phil play this game, or if it's people that know he's going to get mad and say and do really stupid shit.
I
and
don't
clip
want
it.
to bring him up, but there's a good example of this.
Bring it up.
Okay. You know who Nikado Avocado is?
Of course I do, Brandon.
His
Hungry today.
his
Of course I know who that guy is. How can you not?
his attention is not good attention.
No.
And I think that is a good example to bring up.
No.
Like, not all attention is good for your health.
No, that guy is as sad as it is. That guy is literally killing himself.
Let's
We're not gonna get into that though.
no, let's
to see
just
that rage
do the
come out
words
me
of the
as
wise
opposed to
Reggie.
playing a
If it's not fun, why bother?
Yeah, pretty much.
bunch of games where I'm more laid back and relaxed and chill. I have a bunch of those in my rotation. That's my core fan base will show up for that and support it. But you will always get.
You should
different
really
group of
pander to
people.
your
That-
core
that
audience,
really,
though.
I feel, is one of the reasons why I'm still here 15 years later.
I don't super agree with that either, Brandon.
I do.
I think
I mean,
if you have a core audience, your core audience is going to be there for you, not necessarily whatever game you're playing.
yes, and you're right about that.
Bannerford is a great example, dude. I love you, man. You're here all the time. You're like my favorite.
We need to give him a. Does he have a special role?
No, but he is going to be joining us for Age of Empires at some point. I don't know if we'll stream, but he will definitely be joining us. He's got Age of Empires 4. He found a key.
But
We can play with us.
but back to what I was gonna say is you're right that the core audience should always be there, but at the same time, if like you have to choose between the newcomers who are like wanting you to rage or your core audience that wants you to enjoy the game, you should definitely go with your core audience.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying it based off of the context of what we're saying.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. But the way I was looking at it was, at least for me as a very fledgling content creator,
as
we
the
do not
pleb content
as the
creators we are.
pleb content creator we are, like, having a core audience would be amazing, but also trying to bring in fresh people is important,
Which is another
just
reason.
as much as, you know, what you said about your core audience.
Which is another reason why we stopped Smash, is because the core audience only came for Smash.
well, it wasn't just that, dude.
I mean, it's not the
I just
only.
got tired of playing it.
You're right, but that wasn't the only reason. But that was one of the reasons.
Yeah,
was like
it was. It honestly, and admittedly, it was a little bit frustrating, and I appreciated people coming through, but it was really kind of disheartening to be playing a game and then somebody
Like
to
our
come in and say,
Mario.
"When are we doing Smash?" And
every
I'm
day.
like, every stream, and I'm like,
we
not today.
we would be playing like when we were playing Mario. Hey, when's the next Smash stream? Hey, Smash. Hey, what about Smash? And we're just like, you know, that's a Friday thing.
Oh man, thank you. That's why I liked The variety every stream was when Smash. Right, dude? Like it's tiring. Like I love playing Smash with the audience. That was fun for 70 something episodes.
That and the
I mean,
fact,
come on.
again, it's so stagnant nowadays. You
Yeah,
see the same thing, you
Mhm.
experience it's a fun game, but I need new things.
People suck the fun out of Smash. Just like they did Mario Kart. Like, did you know there's a meta for Mario Kart?
Uh-huh.
Well, there was. Nintendo kind of shook things up a little bit with the most recent update, with the most recent wave release.
There's still going to be anything that
It-
has online competition.
Oh yeah, people are gonna find
will
a new
always
one.
have a meta.
For sure. I'm sure it's already there.
Like, are you talking about like the Baby Mario Kart thing?
I can't. No, the best combo was Waluigi,
Wiggler, and then
Wiggler, and Rollers, the
Yeah.
small blue. And I noticed in one of the streams, everybody online was using the little tiny wheels. And I pointed that out, and I was like, why is everybody using the little wheels? Turns out that they were the best in the game.
yeah, I knew about that combo.
I kind of wish Nintendo... You know what to do, Nintendo? Here, I got the perfect solution for any kind of balancing issues you have with Mario Kart. All the cars drive the same. They have the same acceleration speed.
I disagree with that.
Maybe not the same handling.
Because like some people like to have more acceleration, some people like to have more handling, some people like customization. I think in Mario Kart is one of the things that make it good. I will disagree with you.
I guess I would have to see what it would play like if everybody had...
Everything would play exact. The only difference would be whether you use a bike or a cart. Would be the only
Bikes would
difference.
dominate.
Bikes would probably dominate
Mhm.
that. So then they'd have to
Yeah,
take.
you're right, I suppose.
Then they'd have to take away the bikes to make it balanced, and then you just have Mario Kart, but it wouldn't have any like soul.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. They've kind of opened up a can of worms with the customizing carts, and I don't know what their solution is going to be. I know Mario Kart Wii also
See,
had its own
like-
set of problems with balancing.
I agree with that, Bannerford, but at the same time, like I don't blame esports. I don't mind. Like sometimes I like watching like some like competitive gameplay of Smash. I think it's interesting to see like what the top is. I just when people bring that to people they know are more casual and they use like top tier and they don't like ever diverge from their one character and they just use exploits and PK fires.
Super armor, dude.
Use their exploits and their PK fires and stuff like that.
Oh my god.
That's when the fun is drained out for casuals.
Dude, PK Fire is the
I
most
think
broken move in Smash.
If you keep competitive and casual in two separate bubbles, it's completely fine.
They did that with Smash Bros. For Wii U. Remember, you had the For Glory and the For Fun modes on the online section.
You know what they need to bring back? Stuff like the stale moves that weakens things if you constantly spam them.
Personally, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled nailed the customization best. You can customize your car deeply, but you select the type of driving car you want. I've never played it. I played one of the Crash Bandicoot Racing. I can't remember which one it was. It was on the PlayStation 2. It had like a weird free roaming thing where you had like you were like in a theme park or something like that, and you could like walk around the theme park and find hidden shit. You remember that game? What's so funny?
We're talking about fucking Smash Brothers. They talk about the meta of Mario Kart. Now we're talking about Nitro Racing. When it's all stemmed from fucking Wulong in the DPS.
Welcome to the discussion hall where we can't stick to a single topic.
Well, that's because they're not sticking to a topic.
Dude, we're only 20 minutes in.
I don't even know where this tangent came from. What
I don't
were
either.
they just?
Crash
play.
Tag Team Racing. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
the
a
one we
fantastic
played.
game. I actually like that one a lot.
Do you remember the one that like Crash like rode the giants?
Crash of the Titans?
Yeah,
It's actually terrible. I've recently played it.
it's one of those games I remember. Do you know what game? Oh, what was it called? Like Tyson? Oh, what was it
Mike
called?
Tyson?
No, there was a game that we got at a
Taito? Was
no,
it not Taito Legends?
no, it was a game we got at like a yard sale.
What system was it for?
I think it was Wii. But it was a game.
Oh, the fighting game where you could play as Jesus.
No. Let me finish the story. We got a game. I'm going to have to look this up eventually.
Is it Clash of the Titans?
Yeah, it's Clash of the Titans. No, that's not what I'm talking about though. No, it's not a crash game. It was a game with the main weapon the guy uses is a boomerang, and he's like a.
Yeah, it's a fighting game.
Was it a fighting
Yeah,
game?
it's Clash of the Titans for the Wii. I'm almost positive.
No, it wasn't that.
All right. God damn it, Brandon.
But anyways, because we could never play it because even though the disc looked fine, it was broken, and we could never play it. And one of the games that always sticks with me as like the game that I could never play.
Damn it.
What?
I'm wrong. Or at least I can't find it.
Hold on, let me. See.
No. We need to get back on track, Brandon. We have a long video to get through.
That'll come and watch me be the real Phil. The relaxed Phil. I just sit back, I'm chilling, I'm playing a game. I'm not gonna rage. The game's, nothing really too challenging, right?
We're all
I'm
sliggling.
playing Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion right now. That's exactly what that playthrough is.
Oh no, we're catching
Then
the
when I feel
Phil.
long, now it's time for
Philium.
that old Dark Side Phil to come back out, and now a whole new audience shows up. It's funny because you'll watch one of my streams, you'll say, well, Phil gets around 200 to 400.
Look at Craig's face right now, Brandon. Like, what the fuck is this guy talking
No,
about?
he's doing the I'm not listening, but I'm looking like I'm listening. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Viewers a stream, okay? But in reality, when you look at my metrics on YouTube or my analytics, actually, those are like thousands of different people. One stream gets 200 viewers, the next stream gets 300. Those are 500 different people.
That's not necessarily a good thing, though, either. Like, if you're only, at least for how it is for us, like the occasional new people we get, they don't stick around, and that's not a good thing. Like, the fact that you're getting...
Sorry, it was PlayStation 2.
Was it PlayStation 2?
Yeah, it was called Tie 3, the Tasmanian Tiger.
Brandon, that's a completely different game.
No, I know, but it was just like we were talking about something, and for something like we were talking about what were we talking about?
I don't know. Craig looks like he's about to fall asleep, though. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Let's get back into this.
Because people are coming for different kinds of
Because
content.
I don't even remember what
You've
they're
been around as
talking
long as
about
me,
at this
you
point.
realize you get people from all over the world and for different reasons.
The community
If I were to
But are they
thing.
sticking?
Where this all started.
Because if you have 500 people come in and they're just kind of coming out, that's actually bad for the algorithm. That's bad. You want people to stay and subscribe, and you have these new people coming in because they want to see a new game, not necessarily because they want to see you, right? They're interested in the game, not necessarily.
I don't agree with that either, because there are so many live streamers out there, many of which get new releases early, like a year or so early, or even
Weeks.
even earlier than that.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to see a new game, they're not going to go to Dark Side Phil to get the new game. They're going to Dark Side Phil to clip Phil. That's why they're going to Phil.
Yeah, but I'm going to throw this in as a ignore Dark Side Phil. Sometimes that is the reason people find streamers, and then it's up to the streamer to
retain them.
Because like there are times out like when I'm like looking through YouTube and stuff, I'll find a YouTuber talking about something that might have come out 2 days ago, might come out 5 years ago, that I've like, and that's how I find some YouTubers I watch.
Yeah.
So it's a give and take. It's not like they're not specifically being like, I can't wait to see Phil's reaction to this, and because if that happened, they're already part of Phil's streams.
They're already part of his fan base. So
Necessarily you if you're playing a game that's topical or new or something along those lines.
Again, yes and no. I would say back in
new
the day, that was
releases
the
do
case.
absolutely
New
nothing
releases
for
had
us, by the way.
Ginormous spikes in attendance because I actually used to have DSP gaming.
Yeah,
was my gaming
we'll
channel.
play what we want to
Used
play,
be one of the more prominent gaming channels for Let's Players on YouTube over a decade ago. I was in
which
the
is why we're
algorithm.
playing a lot of
I played
retro
new
games.
I would see my
it's
attendance.
not just the fact that the new games don't really do anything for us. It's also the fact that new games I'm just not interested in.
That's what I'm saying. Is right now, like, there's no new games that we're like, oh man, I can't wait to play.
Like Hogwarts Legacy is fantastic. I'm enjoying it. Have you finished it? Like I've enjoyed what I've played of it, but it's like the only new game that's come out that I'm interested in playing, and I really don't want to play it on stream. I just want to play the game and enjoy the game.
Well, if we played it on stream, no one would watch anyway. So
Yeah, like
I think those type of games are not good on stream unless you have like a huge crowd to fill the dead space.
It's double,
And
triple.
since chat is always dead on those streams, there's nothing to fill the empty space with.
right.
Just because I'm playing a new game.
She stole my
I don't
trash
get that
can.
anymore. You know, it's been.
It's
I
right
think
out there.
Some
I
of the
know.
things we'll probably talk about today.
You wanna go grab it?
No.
Why that happened. Trolling activities, false copyright strikes. It kicked my channel out of the algorithm. So today, it doesn't really matter what I play, honestly. I mean, yes, I'll play a new game and I'll get a little bit of a spike. But as for audience retention, it really depends on what I'm playing and who's there for what. There's some people that don't care what I play. I could sit here and play.
Right,
no
you
games
got your
today.
hardcore. You got your hardcore. You can play Tiddlywinks and people will show up, right?
Exactly. But
Right,
then
and
We should have a full 6-hour.
Brandon, let's do that. Let's just have an entire stream where we sit here with our hands like this and we just.
No. I was gonna say we should have a full 6-hour stream where we just do a thumb war.
No, full 6-hour stream of Tiddlywink. Go, bro.
One of these days, I am gonna teach you how to play one of my card games.
Sure.
It's gonna be on stream too, so I can come watch.
Fine. I guess we're gonna do a tabletop stream. Well, you're excited. That sounds super fun, doesn't it?
rage-inducing game. Or a
Hey, if I can get
multiplayer game
you,
where
that'd be you and Brianna. I just need one more. We could have a full game.
know there's going to be an element of challenge where I can either persevere or I can really.
What are
fail
we even
miserably
talking about?
Online in a competitive setting, people like that, and that's the variety.
You want the
that I
honest
bring in,
answer,
but-
or do you want to know like
yeah,
the?
I understand what
the
you're saying. It would be
trail?
great if maybe I was just
Hold on.
one kind
Let's
of
just see where it
content,
goes.
But I found in the 15 years playing kind of both sides, it gets you different audiences, and it's worked for me. At least that's what I feel is one of the keys to my longevity. Is
How many times you
tomorrow,
said
if
15?
they never made a
Every time
Microsoft
they say
game,
15, I'm
I'd be
adding
okay
one. I
because
don't care
I
who
play
says
everything
it.
else,
I
and
would
I'm
not be okay with that.
Oh, I wouldn't be okay with that either. I love those games.
I also need to point out the fact that I think this guy right here, I think this guy's a dick. just gonna say it. I don't care for this guy very much. I don't know. He's like on the offensive this entire interview.
Too, as much as I rage at them and I'll be angry in the moment.
Craig seems
I
okay.
absolutely appreciate and
This
love
guy
them
over
for
here,
who they
not so
are.
much.
Well,
You know?
clearly, you just need to get good. I'm just,
Exactly. I'm a terrible player. Everyone knows this.
Well, let's talk about something real quick. So you early on had this perception of the king of hate. That was something that you marketed, you created, or
The king
whatever,
of what?
right? Whatever it is. That
Phil marketed himself as the king of hate.
Oh, I heard the King of Hint. I was like, what the f- does that even
The
mean?
king of hate, which is probably not the greatest banner to fly above your, because it's gonna bring negativity. You know, like you're inviting negativity by being the king of hate.
was your thing, the king of hate. You had the kingofhate.com and all that stuff, and now you're Phil, right? But do you feel that?
You were the king of hate. You had this website, thekingofhate.com, and now you're just
No. See, I'm laughing at something completely different. We're trying. Craig is trying so hard to bring it back to the original question. Hey, do you stream as Phil or Dark Phil? 15 years ago. And then not like 18 minutes later, they're just like, so you
18 minutes. Brandon, we are at 24 minutes. We've been streaming for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm saying 18 minutes in stream, like in video, not in stream. He asked the first question, and then they bring it back, and then they just go on another tangent that takes them down 18 roads. And every time Craig's trying to bring it back, and they're gonna go back on it. Where's the second question?
We'll get there. There is a second question.
Are you
eventually.
sure? I think it's
I think-
5
I think-
hours.
no, seriously. I think the second question comes in. No jokes. I think it comes in at about the 52.
Well, let's continue then.
Do you feel that still follows you around? This idea of built around, like, look,
There's
Yeah,
a second
James Rolfe,
question.
angry video.
Yeah,
game.
here's-
he's
here's-
clearly a character. People know that there's the angry video game nerd, and then
Yeah,
there's the
see?
character. But your perception is that there's this hate
Look at the
around you, this
stank face
negativity
right
around
here.
you, right? Do you think that has followed you to the point to where
This motherfucker's just straight rocking some nasty stank
I had
face.
a coworker yesterday, like talking about how much cars rich people have. I was like, it's only cars that you hate. Nothing else they spend their money on, just cars.
Maybe that's why this guy's so unhappy. Maybe he doesn't have a car.
regardless of if they're coming to watch you, Phil, or DSP, that is
Maybe not,
been a
Brandon. Maybe we're
negative
still on the
detractor
first
for you.
question.
So
the
just
whole
pause it real
hate.
quick. I'd like to point out we still really never got an answer to whether he streams as Phil or DSP.
No, we never really did get a solid answer.
Which is
there.
why he's saying it was streaming as Phil or DSP, because we never got an answer because they keep going on these other questions.
Well, in their defense, in Craig and Adam's defense, he never really did answer that question.
Well, he did, and then they wanted him to confirm. He's like, yes and no.
Right. He contradicted himself. They never got a solid, definite answer. Like, are you putting on a show? Are you a character on this show, or are you?
And how if it is if DPS is a character, how often are you
DSP.
DPS?
DSP. It's Darkside Phil. Just call him Phil, dude.
DPS.
I hate you. I hate that you're my co-host. You're the worst co-host ever.
Why?
We're just gonna continue because we gotta get through this.
Get through what? Question 1?
Yes.
Absolutely. And of course, I guess this would be a good time to talk about what the moniker means, because a lot of people think the King of Hate means, oh, that means that Phil's just a hateful person towards games and game developers and everything else. He's just going to rage on his stream and just hate everyone. And that's never what it was. Anyone who does 5 seconds of research to what does the King of Hate mean? I've answered this question so many times in the 15 years I've been a content creator, but no one wants to hear the answer.
Oh, 7.
The answer is, I used to be a competitive Street Fighter player back in the 2000s. Okay. And
That's where
back
Bannerford
then,
said
it
he
was
heard
a
of him.
Really weird situation, because Street Fighter wasn't big like it is today. Street Fighter was on the downturn. There were no.
I kind of
new
feel like
fighting
Street
games out.
Fighter's always
So
been
the way
pretty
to get
relevant.
attention on
There was
the
only
Street
one
Fighter
time
building
it
up,
was
dropping.
dying, and do you know when that was?
When was that?
When they were waiting for Street Fighter 4. And they're getting like Street Fighter, or maybe Street Fighter 3, 1 to 2. And then they're getting like the turbo editions and stuff like that. They weren't getting a new game. They're just
That was in
getting...
the 90s, right?
I know.
So this is before YouTube. So Brandon, his mustache is still very uneven. What are you doing? Whatever you're doing, stop it.
He's like, it takes 5 seconds to look up what the King of Hate means. I decided to look.
You looked it up? What'd you find? Show it on screen. Unless it's inappropriate, in which case I don't feel like getting banned off YouTube for something fucking retarded. Am I even allowed to say that word?
No, you're not.
Why not?
No, that is not allowed. That is really bad.
No.
Aborted Arc Project 7 was introduced fairly early in
You
Phil's
never watched Project 7.
Phil's
Oh,
YouTube
Brandon.
But after several videos vanished, it was brought back in spectacular fashion in January 2021. Trying to figure out, like...
Brandon, it doesn't
What?
matter.
Oh, his embarrassing nickname. Have you seen it?
No.
Hold on.
But no, just show it on the camera.
I can't.
Is it bad? You can just say that on camera. His embarrassing nickname. What is it, Brandon?
I'm not saying you. If you want to say
His embarrassing. You guys ready for this? His embarrassing nickname was Dick Stroke Phil. Because that's what he did. He stroked his.
Anyways,
He stroked
continue.
his
I just
filium.
really wanted to see if there's nothing saying the meaning of the word thing.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
continuing. Well, thank you for not telling him, you Bannerford. It's difficult. It's difficult to keep track of what is and is not allowed.
He'll bleep it out
No,
afterwards.
I'm just gonna leave it. Screw it. I don't fucking care.
No.
It's not like I make money doing this anyways. I don't give a shit.
Okay, well, let's continue.
So
Right.
I would go online and I would be the biggest internet troll to everyone in the Street Fighter community. I would make fun of them. I would just destroy
Hence
them.
the King of Hate. I mean, it makes sense.
Let's fast forward, right? This has been well established. This is a decade ago. Let's talk.
Okay, so there's one of the things that I was bringing up at the beginning of the stream. They asked him a question. He is answering the question,
Okay,
and then
Well,
they're like, "Oh yeah, we already know about that. Moving on."
I'm going to defend them. This wasn't the original fucking question.
He asked him about the King of Hate, and Phil was saying why he
No,
gave
he
himself
a-
that moniker.
No, he did not ask him why he gave himself the King of Hate. That was not the question. He's getting off on another tangent. Go back and
Hold on.
listen.
Okay, we gotta go back. Maybe I misheard.
There were no new fighting games out.
Keep
so
going.
wait like it is. And
Wait till you see Craig talking.
Anyone who developed the King of and
Been a negative detractor for you. This the whole that is been a negative detractor.
Go
for
back
you.
a little bit more.
You know, it's negativity around you, right? Do you think that has followed you to the point to where,
See?
you know, regardless of if they're coming to watch you, Phil, or DSP, that that is
Okay, yeah, I misheard the question.
5 years.
Fair enough.
Situation, because Street Fighter wasn't big. Way to get, and I would just destroy.
This is a decade ago. Let's talk about today, though. Like, do you feel
Okay.
that? Do you feel that this has followed you around? Do you feel that people? Do you think that the King of Hate moniker is still relevant?
Today it is not. It was
See?
because when I started, the meaning behind it.
He's going on
when
a
people hate on you,
thing.
Right,
don't
you were
use
correct.
that to
I
become
misheard the
You
question.
don't use that to
So,
My
no,
bad.
crawl into
I
a
own
ball
that
and
one.
hide in your
I will
corner and
defend
say,
Craig
"Oh,
on that
people
one.
don't like me anymore, so I quit." Instead, you use that as a way to motivate yourself to do better. For example, when people say, "You're never going to beat this game because it's so tough." You say I can't do it. You're hating on me. Say I'm a bad gamer. I'm going to beat that game just because you said I couldn't, right? You say
That's
I'm a bad
should never be the
content
reason
creator,
why
so
you're
I'm gonna
beating a
fail,
game.
No, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to use that hate around me, and I'm going to be the king of it. I'm going to motivate myself with all that hate to be a
But
successful
again,
person.
what does this
This
doesn't
is a
have to
mantra I
do?
use my entire life to continue on and be successful.
Yeah, it's not
And
answering the
that's why I have
question
so
at
many
all.
haters on the internet.
No.
Like, it was a pretty simple question. Do you think that the King of Hate has continued to follow you? Do you think that negativity has continued to infiltrate your community? Yes or no?
Hate is the
Yes or no? That's a yes or no question, dude. DSP explaining his power level. Dude, we would need another 50 years to understand the depths of Phil's. That's a face that Phil's making right there. That's also
Yeah,
pretty close
what
to the
is-
face
what
he
is-
made.
What is Phil's power scaling in the multiverse? Like, if he fought against Goku, could he bore Goku to death? I think so.
Probably.
Even
I use
the
that-
mindless Goku has more brain cells, from what I feel like.
To fuel myself every day to come back and say, no, I'm going to put out a great, meaningful stream for people.
I wonder if
regardless of
Craig
what
is sitting here
idiots
thinking right
say
now,
on the
what have
internet.
I gotten myself into?
But it follows me. You're absolutely right because people say,
Holy shit! Brandon,
We
dude,
got an answer.
we got an answer. Yes, it has
was-
indeed
It
fallen.
was kind of casually put in. It wasn't really like it's like because it's in the middle of a paragraph. But hey, we got it. Like if you didn't pause it, I was kind of starting to tune him out. 'Cause it's just,
I wonder if
so-
Adam is tuning him out.
it's so much just fluff.
Word salad.
It is so much fluff.
Yeah.
It's just, he's saying. Oh, what's the word? Oh, I actually had a good word for this. Oh,
Nothing burger.
No. Oh man. Oh. I'll look it up later. But basically there's actually a word that's like, you saying a lot of things that really mean nothing. And I can't remember.
Oh, I know what you're thinking of. Starts with a C, doesn't it?
I don't remember.
Conjecture?
No.
It's really not important, dude. Let's just get back to this. Brandon, put
I'm
your
listening.
phone down, you piece of shit.
the king of hate is not that Phil owns the hate
Brandon, put your phone down, you freaking douche.
against him and motivates himself. They say, he's a hateful person. Take a look at that thing he said 10, 15 years ago. That racial
8.
joke he made. That ridiculous
8.
You know
sexual
what?
comment.
Why
You
don't
gonna
we,
put a counter on?
we're going to put a counter up here. We're going to put a counter for the amount of times Phil counter. We are at 8. 15 years ago. And how many times has he contradicted himself? You kept track of that?
No.
We'll start at 0. How do you spell contradiction? I don't even know.
C-on, so it's C-O-N-T-R-A-D-I-C-T-I-O-N.
Sure. We'll go with that. If that's correct, cool. If not, I don't know. Don't spell. We'll stick that right above my giant bald head. Perfect.
He made. You know, that's what the king of hate is. And then they'll say, look, he used to have a website, thekingofhate.com. And then they'll reference that stuff and say that I'm a bigot or I'm I'm a racist or I'm a sexist. You know, they say it to this day. They're probably saying it right now in chat. You know,
Okay.
and it's not true.
Well, then let's. I wasn't planning on talking this till later. Yeah,
Well,
go ahead, Adam.
When you climb to the top of like the hate mountain and claim to be the king of hate,
I don't know why I find that so funny. I guess it's his deadpan.
I was gonna
delivery.
say it's his monotoneness of
He's
it.
just like, oh my god, I hate this so much. But he's like, When you climb
Well,
the
like
top of the
he's saying it
hate
in such
mountain.
a bored way, but he's saying something as stupid as when you climbed up the hate mountain to become the king of hate, you endured the hateful trials, the vindictive vixens to become the king of hate.
Reminds me of the Bury counter because of how much I caught people with Inkling Side B. I hate Inkling.
Oh my
Don't
gosh,
you think
it was just,
it's
it's
almost
obnoxious. It's one of those things
invite-
that does not need to be a thing.
And
Like I wouldn't mind it if it was like Wario's motorcycle, you know, ran over and you flew off, whatever. But burying is such a stupid mechanic.
people to try to take you down. You know, you said that you made that your thing in the Street Fighter world, and then as time went on in the YouTube realm, that's what you were, I guess, made your position on the internet known. You're the king of hate. So like, you can almost expect people to come back at you and try to use that same kind of vibe. And you know, I've seen plenty of clips of random shit throughout the past couple weeks because I didn't know who you were, right? So I'm still kind of new to this YouTube realm, and you know, I've seen the way sometimes that and of course this is what people share, right? So what I've seen is you kind of letting it get the best of you in some cases, where you're letting that almost get under your skin. Where I mean,
Unfortunately,
if you wanna be that
he does
person on the
indeed
internet, you kind of have to be able
let
to
it get
take
to
it
him.
as well.
I got like a
I just wanted to point that out. You know, it's almost
long-
like you kind of asked for it by being the king of hate.
You almost look like
and
one of those
making that
cartoonish
your
villains.
thing.
Oh
You kind of
yes, that
"Alright,
was
well,
me.
no. You don't understand.
You got a long lip hair. I
I
understand.
got a
What,
long beard hair that's like
but the way you were doing it just made it look like a cartoon. It was me trolling all along.
No, listen, it's really annoying me because it's curled just enough that it's like going into my mouth, and it's fucking irritating. I really need to shave my beard.
if I'm gonna dish it, I got to be able to take it as well.
I 100% agree with you, Adam. Today, but I've been on YouTube for 15 years.
No, you don't, Phil.
When I started on
No, you
YouTube,
don't. No, you don't, dude. No, you don't. Because literally, like I said, I offered constructive criticism for his podcast. I wasn't mean. I wasn't hateful. All I said was, Phil, have you ever thought about maybe putting some backing music in your have you ever thought about putting some backing music in behind your voice and stuff to kind of fill the dead air? And you lost your mind, and you like fucking freaked out at me for no reason. Like, come on, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that. That's a fucking lie. Should we add a lie counter?
So I'm gonna say this,
What?
and
Dude, I gotta get this. It's driving me nuts.
I'm gonna say it like this. He might believe that he deals with it better. He might honestly believe that he deals with it better. I'll give him the benefit of a doubt on that one. Because some people,
No, he's fucking lying. He's full of shit with that one. Absolutely 100% full of shit.
okay,
Bullshit. Bullshit.
no successful.
Whether he wants to believe he doesn't let it get to him or not, he's full of shit.
I ended up doing. I'm almost kind of like a history lesson. Look at what Phil has done, and don't do it. Right? Look at all the mistakes.
Oh, I
Phil
can
just
agree with
made in
that.
the last 15 years. And if
Yeah,
you wanna
15
be
years.
Someone who makes
Oh,
gameplay
no.
content on YouTube, don't do what that guy did, because he screwed up. You know, when I started 15 years ago,
God damn it.
I was like, I'm just going to roll with what I do in Street Fighter. It worked there. Why not do it on YouTube? I wasn't doing it for a living. It was my hobby. I had a 9-to-5 job. And this was something I came home and did 2-3 hours a night. I would pump out some gameplay. I never took it seriously. I never thought it would be my job or anything. So I was the king of, hey, I just rolled that moniker over to YouTube. Now, fast forward 2.5 years after I started on YouTube, I lose my job. Oh, crap, what am I going to do? Can I monetize my YouTube presence? I guess I can. But now I'm the king of hate. Everyone knows me as the king of hate. For 2.5 years, this is my shtick. This is my moniker. What do?
I was about ready to add another one.
How do you erase the past that you've already established? And that's what you're known for. And
Well,
so it's been rough. It's been rough.
You can't. Okay, so no. You can't erase the past that you're known for, right? That's just that
That's
doesn't.
just
The internet
isn't-
never forgets.
no.
Like, you make a mistake, the best thing you can do is to own it
and
and to move on. Like, I don't even have a following, and I have a better understanding of that than Phil does here.
Yes, like whatever you put on the internet will stay on the internet, no matter what you do to stop it.
Hands down, without question.
So, like, trying to avoid it will just make it worse. You gotta accept that was you at one point, and if you want to, like, for instance, we actually do have a good example. Smash Brothers. For most time, that was the priority of our stream, and we owned it. We did it, and then we were like, you know what? I don't want that to be this channel, so we stopped. Well, it's like we're not going to be like, oh, I never played Smash before. Like, that was a phase.
Excuse me, about a year and a half ago, I had a revelation. I was like, I have to move on from my past in any way that I can.
Hey, hold
try
up.
to get rid of this.
Okay, I might be losing the story a bit. Maybe I am, but he said 2.5 years into his career, he started monetizing his YouTube.
He had to.
Yes, he had to. But he was known as the King of Hate.
Mm-hmm. So can we go back a little bit?
No. So it took him 12 to 13 years to try to solve that.
There's a lot more to it. A lot more. And they get into it, so we'll continue. Your questions will be answered.
I doubt it.
Probably.
Maybe in the 8-hour mark.
Maybe not.
This is only 5 hours long, but I believe it's going to go for 15.
Were actively using to weaponize against me. They were going to businesses that I was associated with and telling them, you have a bigot on your website.
Which, okay, so, which is absolutely, that is fucked up.
Okay.
Like, that is unacceptable. Going to any creator's sponsors or any business relations that you've got with somebody and, like, just throwing the worst at them.
Well,
it's just shitty to do.
That, but at the same time, bigot is one of those words that have been used so much, it's lost its original meaning. It really has. Like, there's like that, and you're just like, do you even know what that's supposed to be?
Well, in his case, yes, the people absolutely think he is a bigot.
Things that he did, and they would link to things, little one-off jokes from 15 years ago.
Right.
That's
Another
what
one.
I did today.
Well,
And they would say, he's the king of hate. So I said, I have to stop this. I have to get rid of the website, rebrand myself, and now that's why I do not live by that mantra anymore. I don't even mention it. You know,
So,
it's a them
but what have you
warrior.
done? What have you done, Phil, to change the perception of that? What have you changed the look of your streams? Have you changed your production value? Did you take a break? Did you say, look, I'm leaving and I'm gonna come back, but I need time to kind of rethink this? Like, did you, because you're still going under it's the same, still the same channel, still DSP, still Darkside Phil. What have you done to change the perception of that? I mean, it's been a consistent line the entire time of Phil. So what have you done to change that? Because it sounds like you're saying, well, you know, woe is me, but ultimately it comes down to your actions.
Yeah, and if you were to watch my content, you know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago,
There it is!
2 years ago, and
God!
you watch my content today,
I'm never going to keep track
you
of
would
this.
see
12 years ago.
the difference. Like, for
12
example,
years ago,
how-
15 years. 12 to 15 years ago.
Up until this, 6 months ago, I still looked like shit. I'll admit that. You know,
Dude,
but,
so
you know,
we
that's 'cause I don't
hold
have
up,
the
hold
know-how.
up. We do not have a very fancy setup, right? This is not pretty. I
No,
got like a fucking cheap lamp back here that makes all kinds of flashy colors. Brandon's got a blank ass wall behind him. I don't, and he's dropping shit over there.
coolest thing is I got a
He's got a
piggy bank Batman.
He's got a Batman, but you know what he doesn't have? He doesn't have this thing on his desk. That's pretty cool. I got this for my birthday,
Got a headless gorilla mask over
or
here.
maybe a Valentine's Day. I'm not sure.
I got a gorilla mask over here.
Basically, what I'm saying is we don't have the coolest setup in the world. My setup still looks better than Phil's.
The echo in this shows the amount of setup we have.
I think I fixed that, but my setup.
We just need to save like $10,000 and get those wall paddings.
at least for me, like on my side. Brandon's side isn't quite as nice because he doesn't have the nice camera. But my camera looks better than Phil's, I think, and my lighting looks better than Phil's. Phil's lighting makes him look like he's 130 years old. Because I think he's just got a single light, and it's casting all kinds of shadows. Like, 2, at least, Phil. An evenly light thing. So no, 6 months ago, your setup looked like shit. 6 months ago, it looked like shit, right? It still looks like shit. Like, I think he's tried to do some things.
Hey, he actually has some wall padding over there for echo.
Yeah, and that's fine and all. And I see that he's added some LEDs to the bottom there. That's actually new. I haven't seen that before. These are new. Yeah, I think he's trying to make some change. Upgrade your camera, Phil. Your camera is terrible. Your lighting is terrible. Get some cheap lights. Just spend a bunch of money on them. Just upgrade. Spend a little bit of your money you earn from streaming on your equipment.
Anyways,
I don't even make money streaming, and I have spent literally thousands on my setup in order to get all my monitors, in order to get the PC that I use for streaming, the cameras, the microphones, the boom arms, the lights, the desks. Like, I've spent a lot of money to get this streaming setup the way it is right now. Spend a little bit of money, Phil. Your audience deserves it. Hey, moving on.
I'm very much crowdfunded by my viewers and fans, and it's they who
An
contribute
upgrade,
to
dude.
everything. And in this last year and a half, there's been kind of a reinvigoration. Let's change everything I'm doing. Let me listen to feedback. Just in the last year, I started doing React content. I was the biggest.
Did you just hear what this motherfucker just said, Brandon?
well, add one to the flat out lies. You said that was what, like 3 months ago?
Wasn't that long ago. It sure as fuck wasn't a year ago. This fucking
Do you
guy.
mind if I ran and got like a water?
No, dude. Take a brief intermission. Go pee. Squeeze your butt cheeks on the way up the stairs. Do what you gotta do. I don't care. Here, actually, take the dishes with you.
I'll grab the plate.
Here you go. Home boy. Take this with you. Take this plate. I've actually almost ordered some stuff from Displate. They make really cool wall art, dude. Angry Joe had recommended one to me. I think it was, maybe it was PewDiePie's flavor. Like, it was. What was it? Divine Peach. Moist Criticals. Divine Peach. Phil looks like somebody is sticking things in his butt. I love these faces that we pause this on. It's like 150 degrees in this room, guys. I wish I had an air conditioner. Like, I'm talking about how, we've spent all this money on this streaming setup so that I could do this, and, and the quality is better. But one thing we did not consider is that my computer runs like a toaster oven. It is literally a space heater. It makes this room very hot. And this room isn't like super, super big. Like, it's not terribly small. But it's serviceable for what I need. Brandon has returned. He's got the legendary orange hoodie on, of course. Not that you can tell his hoodie is orange because his camera really is bad. I really need it.
I thought you were going to say it's because of my work hoodie, so it's really dirty.
Well, it is really dirty, but no, it's like I really need to update your camera. Your
Well,
camera's
should
color. Huh?
You should update first.
What's that?
Microphone.
No, I think
we're not doing anything to get us like energized.
I think it's fine though. Like,
anyways, That's
I'm
good.
talking fairly loud and it's not picking me up, so I think we're good.
Let's just
critics of React
continue.
content. I crapped on it constantly, saying it was terrible content. It's the lowest
Wait, what?
form of content.
He's talking
on the
about
internet.
React content. He
Oh.
just recently
I
started.
started listening.
Phil just recently started his own
Now,
React.
now that you said it, I remember.
Okay, he got his own channel for reacting.
To my viewers, they're like, Phil, why are you so ignorant about this stuff? You know, you got to start to open up and be a
Just
more
don't mention
laid-back guy
needing
about all this crap. You
some-
don't wanna be the king of hate.
something to
You gotta
fill the
listen.
dead
I
air when
started
he's
listening.
just kind of
I
sitting
started
there
doing
staring at the
different
screen,
kinds of
dude.
content. I changed my setup. I'm trying to change the perception around me. But the problem is, it wouldn't matter if I went away for 2 months and rebooted my channel and renamed it or whatever. There is such an overwhelming stigma against me on the internet that it wouldn't work. These trolls would just follow me no matter where I go, what I do, no matter how much I change.
That I can kind of agree with him on. Like,
But at the same time, he's giving them the power to do that.
yes, it is his fault that that he's in the boat he's in, but he's not wrong. Like if Phil tomorrow said, "Guys, this is it. This is the end of DSP gaming. I'm going to take a very long break," and he goes away for a year,
Become the golden gladiator.
and he comes back and he's like, "LSP light side." Like LSP vlogs or something, and he doesn't even do gaming anymore.
You know what people would be doing? I mean, you doing that LSD, aren't you?
I'm sure the people like his detractors are pretty dedicated and would probably, well, not probably, they absolutely would eventually find him, and they'd be like, "Oh, look, found him. It's just Phil. It's Phil being Phil." So he's kind of right about that, but at the same time, he did cause the problems, which he does admit to. So I don't know. Phil has he's made this bed. He's got to sleep in it. The end of the day, that's the problem. Phil has said he's made his own bed. He's got to sleep in it.
They don't want to believe it, or they pretend like the change hasn't happened so that they can keep rolling on with their hate trains. And it sucks. I would love to do a full reboot and rename DSP Gaming. It wouldn't matter within a day. That's DSP Gaming. Don't be fooled. It's the same guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I have tried to change and do better things and make more laid back content. You watch my content today, way less of that rage kind of stuff. Way more chill.
How many
content,
times have you said
interactive,
that too?
Meaningful content with my viewers, I feel.
Yeah, but
The
we
stigma
weren't keeping
remains.
track, and I don't feel
Well,
like keeping track.
let's talk about something real quick that can add to that stigma, right? And I think this is important. You said the light bulb went off, about a year ago. You got to change. You change your background and stuff. But I want to bring up, there's still jokes that are made that that don't necessarily they don't fit today. And I want to play one for you really
Sure.
quick and just kind of.
What are your thoughts?
About.
So Phil makes a joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll ask you after the.
Get your
Yeah,
reaction to this. Okay, so this is
Oh, here we go.
yeah. So you know where this is going, and I want to watch
Oh,
this so we all understand what's going on here.
Make this quick. All right, boys, prepare the slave trade. We're selling her right off for profit. You know how much I love you, right?
All the way to now.
Scared you just look up at the sky and remember that, okay?
Okay.
Put the kid in the vehicle. Stay with her.
Right, she's too valuable to escape. She's worth lots of money.
That's
Your thoughts, Brandon. What do you have on your mind, Brandon?
One that just came out of nowhere. Right out of left field with that one. Uncalled for? Just not even funny.
It was just stupid, dude.
It was just uncalled for. Like,
It was. Oh, it was so dumb. Like, in what world was Phil thinking, "Oh yeah, this is a great idea, dude. I'm so smart. I'm so funny." No, Phil. There's a line, dude.
I see. I had a whole other thing I thought he was going to say. with that kid being like, I don't even want to go that far.
A person of ethnic color, Brandon?
Sasquatch, real quick.
Oh, no. Hold on. I keep getting this confused. All right. Yeah.
You see why I didn't want to say that?
Yeah, fair enough. Because taken out of context, that could have been really, really bad.
So
Okay.
Fucked up.
Yeah. So
What do you think his excuse is going to be? Like, what do you think he's going to respond to with that?
I don't even
Like,
know.
how do you respond to that? dude?
Owning up to it and being like, yeah, that
Yeah,
was
really bad. That was a
that
bad
was
look.
really bad. I don't know what came over me. I guess I just got into the moment, and the first thing that came to my head spilled out.
Nope, he's going to double down.
That was funny right there.
Hold on. Ready? You ready? You ready to do this?
so what's going on there, man? Like, let's talk about.
Like, literally, dude, this had me dying at work today. Because Craig is just like, so what's going on there, Phil? Like, why are you making extremely racist jokes? It's not funny.
It's beyond
about that.
bad.
Like, how does that when you
That's too
see
far.
that?
Oh,
When you see that, how does that make you feel? What are you thinking? Do you regret that saying that? Like, is that edgy
Sure.
humor?
well, first of all, I have an honest question for you guys. You've now seen it. I don't know if Adam has ever seen that clip before. Okay.
No, I
Is that
haven't.
the first time? Okay. What do you think the joke was there? I'm just curious. What do you think I was trying to joke about?
Okay, pause it.
Answer that question, Brandon. What was the joke?
What do I think the joke was?
What was the
So,
joke?
if we go back, what did he say exactly?
You want to go back to that? Do we really need to play it a second
No,
time?
I just need to remember what he said.
He said, and
Was
I'm
it-
quoting here.
Yeah, well, quote.
Quoting. And then I'm going to paraphrase it.
Yeah.
He basically said, well, boys, you can get the slave trade ready because there's a little girl here who's going to the slave trade. That was the joke. Ha ha, I'm funny. My name is Phil. Hello.
So, what do we think the joke is? Is that the question we're asking now?
Yes, Phil wants to know, he's asking Craig and Adam what they think the joke is.
I think he's gonna try to be meta with it.
You think he's going to go meta?
That's what. It's not a joke. It's just terrible.
Well, at face value, the joke is you're putting a small child into the slave trade and human trafficking, which is
Well,
not
I
funny.
think-
Which is never funny. It's never been funny.
No.
Even going back to like 2008, 2009 era,
To where,
YouTube,
like,
that
things were
still wouldn't have been acceptable.
like-
Still wouldn't have been funny.
let's let me just like I'm trying to think of the only other thing I can think of is that like because that clip was quote unquote taken out of context.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why the cops are taking the daughter. So it might have to belong with something at that too. But with the information I have, I think he's going to do some meta stupid explanation. That's going to be my response.
And you are correct.
Am I?
Man, I'm
No, I mean, not about the meta thing. I'm saying, like, if the context was in this game he's playing that this girl is, in fact, like, the police are corrupt and they're selling her into the slave trade or they're human trafficking her. And he said that
grooming.
that's different. That is taken out of context, but that is not.
That's not what
that's
he
not
said.
what he says.
No.
So let's see what he says.
That you're selling that girl to the slave trade.
okay.
That's what it sounded like, and that's pretty fucked up.
Okay. Now, from what reference do you think? How can I say this? Okay, I'll approach it from the detractor perspective. Okay. From
Positive.
the detractor.
I don't understand. Before you say anything, dude, I just want to say I don't understand what the detractors have to fucking do with anything here.
Okay. No. What perspective is he going from? Because the only perspective I see is he on the corrupt cop side's perspective where they're like, yeah, boy!
No, he's going from the detractor's perspective, Brandon.
No.
For some reason, he's bringing detractors into this.
But what perspective?
Oh, we're gonna find out.
Your perspective.
No,
the
I want to
joke-
hear. I want to hear your perspective of what you
Yeah.
meant.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do both.
It's
We'll do
it's
both.
pretty obvious what the detractors mean. Like for me, that would have put me on the detractor side because it sounds like you were making a joke about selling that little girl to the slave trade. How is it not that? Like, what did you mean?
Oh no,
that is
that's absolutely that's the joke.
That's not a joke. There's nothing funny about that.
But what, Brandon? You mean to tell me, dude, that you didn't just chuck up about how hilarious that joke was?
Dude. I
That-
don't
that
wanna
was-
say- I don't
That
wanna
was the
say-
best joke I've
I-
ever heard in my entire life.
I
Brandon.
don't. I don't even want to do anything that could be taken out of context right now.
Brandon, you just don't understand. You don't understand the depth of Phil's incredible intellect
Like, who was it?
and his ability to write
Andrew
incredible
Jackson.
jokes.
Was that the president?
I don't know, dude.
It's just a joke, bro. That's what he told the Indians
But there's a difference between saying
or
that's
Native
okay-
Americans, I should say. I feel like I can
The
get yelled
slave
at for
trade.
that.
How is it not that? Like, what did you
Oh
mean?
no,
that is
that's
it-
absolutely.
So hold on, pause. One last thing before we. So he's admitting that the joke was selling off the child to slaves, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Slavers.
I told you he's,
So,
he's gonna
what is-
double down on it.
What is the detractor's perspective?
I don't think Phil knows.
Anyways, continue.
I don't think he was expecting that clip to be brought up. If I'm being honest, I think it caught him out of left field, and I think he doesn't know what to do.
The joke. But there's a difference between saying that's okay and it's funny or the ridiculousness of the situation. See, you just saw that clip completely out of context, correct? You don't know what's going on in the game right there.
Okay, explain the context then.
That sheriff is a corrupt sheriff. He is actually orchestrating a situation to try to murder people inside a building to protect his secrets. He's like a dark guy who controls the whole town. And
Okay, so he's murdering people in his basement, right? That's
Uh,
that's the what's happening in the game. What
yeah.
does that have to do with
With
slavery,
slavery?
or the slave trade or human trafficking?
Or anything else.
And I mean, it's pretty on the nose, dude. Like there's no like hidden depth here or secret meaning. It was a little girl of color, and Phil's immediate reaction is to be like, "Oh, no, the slaves!" Like that's disgusting. You're a racist person.
I think
Congratulations.
the only salvageable thing. And this is me like
Are you stretching, Brandon?
this is me like taking the stretchiest material in the world and wrapping.
Are
it
you
around.
Stretch Armstrong right now, Brandon? Is that how far you're reaching?
Dude, I'm Mr. Fantastic at this point.
You can grow every inch of your body.
And I am having to. Is the only way this could
Wait, no. You can't just say that and then be like, yeah, okay. What? What do you mean you have to?
to try to do something. The
What
only
are you
thing
trying to do?
just
I
let
was
just let
talking
me
about your penis.
just let me say where this could have been brought up, like how this could have came to his mind in a way that is still wrong, but is the only way I could think of that he could have perceived this as a.
Oh no, Brandon's trying to get into the Phil mindset.
So, well, all I gotta do is just talk about nothing. I could do that easily.
Yeah,
But anyways,
you can talk about nothing better than anybody I know.
oh, I
Brandon.
know. I don't know. I think Phil got me beat.
I don't know, Phil.
But anyway, so he knows that the cop is corrupt at this point.
Mhm.
And my reasoning is that he made the joke because slavers are corrupt, so therefore it's same.
That's a stretch, Brandon.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I-
But that's the only thing I can use.
that's very much a stretch.
Anyways, continue.
no one knows this. Everyone thinks the sheriff's a squeaky clean guy. So this is being revealed throughout the plot of the game. He's a scumbag, right? So the joke is this guy's such a scumbag. He's saying to the dad, "I'm going to save your daughter. Give me your daughter. Let's take him in and rescue her." But in reality, he's such a scumbag. He'd probably do something like that. He'd probably, traffic people. That's the joke. Now,
Okay, then
Is
why
that-
did you say slave trade instead of human trafficking wouldn't have been any better. But
I think it would have been not. It would have been more acceptable though. If you would have made a joke about
it would have been more modern.
yeah, but it wouldn't have been racially charged.
No.
That's where the issue is.
yes.
Because it's a racially charged
It is something that happened only to one group.
joke. I use that term very lightly.
I use that term in the sense that that's what he perceives it to be.
Yeah, I mean, if he would have went the route of just the human trafficking thing, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal.
But no, the fact that it was
The fact that he saw this little
innocent child
of
of color,
yeah, it's just.
and then the first thing he goes to is slave trading instead of anything else a corrupt cop could do, which none of it's good, but that in particular.
What a fucking idiot! I'm just.
Anyways, continue. It's
A joke that's acceptable by today's standards, by 80% of people, probably not. I agree with you.
Do you think that's a joke? Like, do you think that's a joke acceptable by any standards? Like, I don't.
Even a decade ago, 2
Right.
decades ago, 3 decades
Like,
ago.
And
I
and
think-
it's like I just want to hear your thoughts on that because I
3 decades ago, potentially, it would have 3 decades ago been potentially acceptable. People were very different 3 decades ago. It also depends on the area you live in.
yeah. I think it would still 3 decades ago. It still wouldn't have been generally socially
Okay.
accepted. I mean, it's still socially accepted in some circles today,
Yeah.
but like,
All you have to
The
do
ma-
is go to like rural Pennsylvania or
but the majority of
you know.
people, even 30 years ago, would not have found that tasteful in the least.
It's just not funny. either.
No, nothing about it was funny. Anyways,
I think there's edgy content, then there's inappropriate content.
Absolutely.
we gotta
Look,
we gotta
100%,
end
we've all been
we gotta
guilty
end
of
this stream
edgy
here so we can
content
play
before,
Age.
You know, so
Yeah.
I
I'll
think
tell you,
it's
we'll
dark
end it
humor.
once we hit the hour
It's
mark.
definitely
At 30 minutes.
skirting
Yeah.
the risque. Okay.
It wasn't
Say that,
risque.
I've
Don't
heard
be
much
positive.
worse.
It wasn't risque.
So I guess we are legitimately going to be doing 5 parts of this.
We're
We'll
gonna
do an
pause it every
hour.
10 seconds.
Well, we have to because he says such dumb shit.
He says such outlandish stuff that we have to comment on it. It's not in my nature not to be like, that's not risque. That's just wrong. That's inappropriate. That's not something you should be saying.
I don't know, man. It's just me.
Anyways,
From other people, but that doesn't make it okay for me to do it. I know that. And you know, there's
well,
things-
especially with what's following you around, your reputation, right? Do you think that if the light truly went off in your head to say like I got to change, don't you think it would be like, well, maybe I should bite my tongue on this one? I may be thinking it, but how about I bite my tongue on this?
Yes, I 100% agree with you, and it's a working.
Then why
process.
didn't
It's
you?
Something that has to happen naturally over time. It's not something that can be a switch that's flipped because
okay.
you know.
So basically, what he's saying here is, yeah, I am a racist piece of shit, but I try to hide it, and sometimes the mask kind of slips a little bit, and
No.
that comes through in my streams.
No.
That's what I got from that answer.
From what I got was that when he had this epiphany at like 2017, I think he said.
Or 2020 or
Some recent epiphany that he had that he did want to start being more, I guess I'm going to use a very, very like generous, strict with his content and stuff, but he has to train himself to do that.
because he's a racist
But
guy. That's the problem.
that's not something you have to train.
If you don't have to train that.
But
He does because that's who he is. He is
No,
a
like,
racist
even
douchebag.
if, like, for instance, like if I had something I say in a general thing, like if I like know something's not like in my friend group it's acceptable, not socially acceptable, and I'm streaming, I'm not going to just blare out random racial jokes. I
If
had
me happen to cut out the R word, I guess.
I had
Like-
I had a friend who was Asian, and we made like jokes about him being Asian, but I wouldn't sit here and start yelling racist Asian things because of that. He knew it was a joke. We knew it was a joke, so there's nothing wrong with that. When I started saying stuff about certain things as a joke, and I'd be like, "Oh man, it's just because I haven't put my filter on yet." That's not okay.
Yeah, that's a very lame excuse.
You should know what's sociably and not socially acceptable
Yeah, I agree.
for the most part. I mean, there are things that's just like,
Like me just
Yeah.
now with the R word. Like, I didn't know,
yeah, like
and I don't say it in a derogatory sense.
no,
You know, I'm not.
but
Mental health is
the-
is pretty close to me. I'm not going to get into it, but
the-
it's a pretty close
the
subject.
The issue with that though, Matthew, is everybody takes it seriously.
Yeah,
Now there are things like what he did that
are very clearly
don't
not
care
okay.
if you're joking or not. If that's the first thing your mind goes to, seek help.
Seek help.
But like,
You're not well.
like I mean, you can't even like. I feel scared like if I'm playing a game or something, giving them the he she pronouns because I don't know which one. Like, because if you say one, you're gonna have the crowd be like, "That's not what they really just associate with," and I'm like, "But it says they
Well,
do."
the safe thing to do is say they.
That's what I do most of the time. I try to say
But-
they. Like I had a friend in one of my discords that was in a group like that, and one time I accidentally she saw him she you know that whole thing. I accidentally said he, and they jumped my ass for it. I'm like, was a slip of the tongue. I'm sorry. I've been called a woman by people in work before. Excuse me, ma'am.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon, you look like the hottest bitch.
I know.
You better flaunt that next time
you-
you're at work. Take that ass.
Every
boy.
time I walk, what plays in the background, you can tell by what I do well.
But he's a ladies' man. You need to be like Shakira or something. I don't know. Rihanna. Or I'm sorry, Rihanna.
I don't know anymore. But anyways, just continue. I don't think that's an acceptable excuse whatsoever.
Fuck no.
No, again, I was someone who's done this for 15 years back in
There's
the
another one.
Ah,
That's what people came to watch. That's the content they wanted.
13
That's what
times.
got me popular
We're
on
on 30
YouTube.
minutes
That
in.
I can't keep track of the contradictions. There's too many.
Unacceptable, over the top, dark humor.
I don't know. I've just never
Okay.
thought of Banifred as a
Today,
female
it's not
name.
acceptable. I know that, but the thing is, those jokes still click in my
Like,
head.
I don't want
I
to, associate
absolutely should have
anything,
not
but
done that.
I always
I
thought
would
you were a dude.
Yeah, like Nico. I've pretty much always known that Nico is a female.
Yeah.
I've always kind of just assumed that you're a guy.
I've always assumed Stoner was a male.
Yeah,
like-
I think Stoner's probably. If you had to guess, how old do you think Stoner is?
I would say like 15,
I would have said 13. About 13.
13,
my guess.
15.
Somewhere in that age.
You know how old he is?
I have no clue.
Oh, I thought you knew something. Like he's actually 35.
It's a that would be kind of creepy actually, because of the way he acts. I would be like, dude, you need to just not be in my stream
I just,
anymore."
I think at one point in one of our Smash streams, I think he said he was like 14 or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like I've heard that before, but I'm not 100. It's a made up name, but the name comes from a character I made. His name, yeah,
That's actually, dude, where my username comes
and that's
from.
where
too.
mine comes from too.
Actually his comes from me. His came from
But
a
it's-
character in a comic I used to write, same as my name.
Yeah.
My online user handle.
Was it? Was your character actually Church Crusade? Or was it just Church?
No, it was Church Crusade. That was his
Was it?
full.
It was it. I don't remember. I remember what the comic was called. Too bad you don't have any of those.
I do.
We should do that on stream one of these days.
Oh, Brandon, they're so cringe. I've read them recently.
I haven't read them. Well,
Oh
we
my
should,
god, they're
we
so cringe.
Is it as bad as Sonichu?
No, it's not that bad.
I think you'd be fine.
No, it's not.
We'll do it like, we're at what 400 some odd subscribers.
If we get to 5,000 subs, I will do a full live stream where we read through the entire series.
do you have the entire series?
Yes.
Oh,
The last book is a little bit messed up because I wrote all of these on notebook paper. But the last
remember
one is
that.
done on computer paper and it was loose leaf, and I've lost a lot of them. But the first, I think the first are still intact. They're in a box.
well, yeah. If you get that, well, then
Have you ever seen those videos where it's grown-ups looking back at their DIY diary? Mine, I could take the concept and the idea I had for that comic book. It was called Space Ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I could take that concept and idea and actually make something useful out of it. Like, it wasn't a terrible idea.
Another character that I liked the name of was Irene with the icicle ponytails. Twin tails. I remember
All of my characters were stick figures,
Yeah.
but they were very well drawn stick figures. Like, for real.
King Kamula wasn't a stick figure. He was a giant snake.
Yeah, dude, and he was pretty cool. He was a space dragon, space king. Pretty cool. No, that wasn't him. He was the king of the fuzzy guys. Space dragon was.
I feel like
It doesn't matter, dude.
yeah.
Tell you that right
Gotta
now,
get through
1,000,000%.
5,000 subscribers. We'll figure it out, guys.
And here's where you have to have.
No, I have them. I'll have to
some
find
kind of
them.
an
I know
air
I
of
have them.
fairness, or at least you have to see the big picture. All right, I've been doing this for 15 years.
There's another one.
Full time for a job since 2011.
We're almost
I
to the
do 6
15
days a
mark.
week Full time, 6 days a week. I'm here, full time streaming. I have over 100,000 videos on the internet. Okay, people will always find something that moment of weakness, that stupid thing that I said. I know, stupid Phil. Why the hell did I make that joke?
But you
But once it's out
just
there, it's out
defended
there.
it
And all you
today
can do-
on this podcast.
There's a contradiction. I should have kept that up there. I'm not doing it now, but yeah, he absolutely just contradicted himself
because he defended it like 10 minutes ago.
20 seconds ago, dude.
I'm sorry,
Thank
my
you for it.
timing is kind of
Say you're
off
gonna do
because I
better
keep
and try
pausing
not
it.
to do it and move on. Now, there's a reason why I'm on this show today. Okay, this is what, March 16, 2023, and you had to show a clip, one random clip from last summer. You didn't show something I did in the last week, the last month. You showed something from the one moment of weakness. Whenever I do something stupid on the internet, it gets hyper analyzed, looked in with a microscope and blown away. This is what Dark Side Phil is.
But he gets to say, you got that face that you got to say something.
Just
Lay it out, dude. Let me hear it.
it's the fact that he's like, it's not something that happened a week ago. It happened 4 months ago. That's in the past. That's a new me. It's not how that works.
I don't know, Brandon. I don't know how I feel about that, because you can make a mistake. Like, you can. I mean, his example is terrible because there's no excusing what he said. He defended it in this interview. So, him aside from that. But if, like, say, for instance, I made a mistake 6 months ago and I have moved on from it, I have owned up to it.
If you owned up to it, that's different. But this says that he has not owned up to it at all, Matthew.
But what you said was, it was only 6 months ago. 6 months ago, that's not how it works. That's not long enough. So what is long enough?
I will say,
when is it long enough that it no longer should affect you?
I will say it depends. If you don't own up to it, it should always affect you till you own up to it. Because if you're not owning up to your mistakes and what you said, then you obviously either believe it or you don't think it has the repercussions it deserves. If you own up to it, then honestly, it should be, like on the radar for a few months before it's really taken off, in case you do it again.
I think what you're trying to say, and kind of struggling to find the words to do so, is if you own up to it and you don't do it again, then it's, if the pattern is established,
I would
then
say
it's a problem.
3 or 4 months needed if you own up to it, just so you show that it's not
your normal.
Yeah, it's not you. It was
it's
slip of the
there's no
tongue.
pattern. But with Phil, there's a pattern.
I mean,
Have you watched the last 5 years of content I've put out? There's probably, okay, yes, I'm a human. I make errors, absolutely. And I'm stupid, and I do dumb stuff when I get over-emotional. This is not the
Were you
norm on my
over-emotional
show.
when you were talking about the slave trade with this character in this game? Were you didn't seem like you were over-emotional. You seemed like you were trying to make an edgy joke that you thought was funny that is not funny in the slightest. My 2 cents.
what are we at in time?
38 minutes.
We ain't making
people
it.
see that clip out of context, like you guys just did. And if all
We'll
you
stop
knew
at
of
9
Dark Side Phil was
if we
that
don't get to
joke,
an hour first.
you would hate my guts. You'd be like, what a scumbag. He made a joke about child trafficking. What kind of a horrible person
Oh,
thinks
you made a
child
joke about the
trafficking
slave
is
trade.
funny? When you
Very,
watch it in
very
context,
different.
It's not
They're
as
both
bad, but
wrong,
it's
but
still
one
bad.
is.
But when
I
you
don't know.
watch all of
The context that you explained didn't make it any better. I'll be honest.
that's fine. I agree.
Because
That's fine.
I'm not.
I agree with that.
I do too.
Like what he said didn't justify or fix what what the joke was, dude.
No, the joke was
It was
sending a
it was
child
terrible.
to slavers.
And it like
That's so funny.
Sure which
That's all. I have a
character
good
you're
hearty
even,
laugh.
like portraying. So were you acting as the sheriff in that
Yes,
situation?
that's why I did. That's why I did like the accent. Yes.
I don't know. I think that like in a situation like that, like we live in a society now where like, look, I understand that going into this interview that literally every second of this is going to be analyzed, and Adam understands that, and you understand that, right? But and literally everything you say, there's a camera on you at all times, especially when you're a live streamer, you know? And I mean, for somebody who does this for a living, I just feel like you have to be able to bite your tongue at sometimes, and you need to know better. I mean, you said it
you need
yourself
to
that
not be a
this switch
racist
was
douche.
flipped, and I understand that. I totally understand. I am very forgiving of mistakes, right? But when there's a pattern of these things, that
exactly.
go back over the course of time, like it's no longer a mistake. It's a it's a continuation. So I don't know. I think, look, if you're saying that I'm also a big believer in taking people at their word, right? Up until their actions show different.
I want you to remember that he says that. He's a big believer taking people at their word. We're not going to get to it tonight.
So I gotta remember for tomorrow.
You got to remember for tomorrow.
Maybe next Friday we do part 3.
Just remember that he has said that he is a big believer in taking people for their word.
We'll continue.
So you're saying that over the course of the since that joke, you've been pretty squeaky clean, and you haven't made inappropriate jokes like that are that edgy, I guess.
I'm sure he has.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't want to say that because I'm here 6 days a week full time. You know, that's a lot of my life. And I guarantee you, if I say right now, man, yeah, that was it, Craig, that's all I remember. Immediately there'll be other examples tossed out right now, they'll find it, right?
I understand.
And that's the problem is when you are 100% on the internet at all times, with the amount of content I put out on the internet, they will always find another example or whatever. I am actively trying.
No, not correct. Not correct. Like, even if I were to stream 7 days a week, 10 hours each day,
24/7. Never going to.
never ever taking a break, straight through the year, 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, you would never find me making a joke like that.
You don't want to do that. That's when the community gets mad when you want a break.
I'm just saying, like,
I know, just a
he's
hypothetical.
trying to say that because he streams so much, obviously he's gonna make mistakes and things are gonna come out, and there's gonna be so much content that people will be able to go through and define. That's not true. Like, there's no way that I would make a joke like that. There's just not. You know?
No, I wouldn't.
So that's fucking stupid.
to change. What I will say is this: you would be challenged in the last maybe 2-3 years to really find a running pattern of me doing really bad jokes like that.
You know that now that he has said that, his detractors absolutely will do.
Yes, and it wouldn't be that hard, I assume.
Good job, Phil. Thanks for. You should pat yourself on the back for presenting that challenge to your detractor community.
Okay, maybe you'll find a few. I'm definitely a flawed individual, but you're not going to find it as like you wouldn't say, oh, here's 47 times within a year that Phil did that. I know for a fact he's a scumbag, right? You'll find one time here, one time here, one time here, and then they blow it up on the internet.
You just gave so many different people a reason to do exactly that.
Oh, they will. I know that, but the thing is, they do it anyway. It doesn't matter what I say or do. This is what they do. So
Now you said that the switch in your brain, was off, so that you made that joke.
I'm guessing that while I was at work today listening to this, I was tuning out a lot of it. Because if you remember at the beginning of the stream, Brandon, I said Phil's not a bad guy, he's just kind of a dumb.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think Phil is a terrible guy. There are much worse people on the internet, much worse people on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I can name a few.
I don't think he's the worst thing ever, but he's also not the best either. Like my perception of Phil is gradually changing as this is going on, and I'm like picking up because I'm actually being able to focus on what he's saying and what they're interviewing him for,
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of changing my perception a little. My perspective is shifting.
Oh, mine isn't because I don't have one.
Joke. Like, do you have it in there that it's like thinking like when you said
Alex
that,
is
you were like, maybe that
immediately
was too
cool to
much,
me.
or you were just free flowing, and that's just kind of you.
That's just him.
Let me put it this way:
The
If
fact that he
I'm
can't just answer
streaming
that means it
and a
was just
joke
him.
pops into my head, and I feel, oh man, that's probably too much. Today, I usually will not say it. Usually, it would be maybe an extenuating circumstance or just for a second, a momentary lapse. I feel like what that was a momentary lapse because I've done it for so long. I get this weird observational humor in my head. And my brain is going a million miles a minute.
No.
Here's a joke. Here's a joke.
That is not an
right?
excuse either.
But do you think that's
And-
observational humor though? Like that's I don't like it's I don't know. Like I'm not one to like. There are people who make like there are comedians who make jokes and they're edgy and such like that. I guess. Do you fancy yourself as a comedian? Like because you're telling us that people come to your streams to watch you, rage react to streams and things like that. I don't necessarily, and I don't know. I'm asking, and I think this is probably a better question for your fans. Are they coming to watch for those edgy jokes, or are they coming to watch you rage? Because I don't know, man. It doesn't fit. That's
I
a
agree with
really.
you. I agree. I actually agree with you today. I should not have made that joke. I know that. That today you're 100% correct. 15 years ago, even 10 years ago.
At 15, we got to the
at the time, I
15
knew people
mark.
were looking for that. That's who I was. And now I'm
So
not.
this was last year, you said?
That was
Yeah.
probably summer of last year. Yes.
So, because it just feels like a big leap from going from a sheriff who is like trying to kill people to seeing a little black girl and thinking a slave trade. You know what I mean?
now you said it. Now you said it.
See
You said
what?
you said black girl.
It was
That-
on
That's
screen.
correct. That's correct. And herein lies the problem.
What?
I didn't think that.
Put a flat out lie. That's just bullshit,
dude. No fucking way.
There is no way that you saw that little girl and the color of her skin and was like, it's like, I don't want to say this too much because out of context, but if they happened to be a different one, you would not have been slave trade.
No, like the fact that his head immediately goes to the slave trade. Obviously, he saw the color of the kid's skin.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no way around that. You fucking lie, dude. Come on. Oh,
Put 2 on for that. That's just really bad.
I'm sure we missed one at some point, so why not? You get 2 lies for that one, Phil, you fucking douche.
That's because I'm gonna.
In my-
I can't think of the word, but I'm gonna rationalize as this. He's lying about his mind not working the way it does, because obviously it does, and that's him. And he's lying about not seeing the color. So there's 2.
Sure.
my
It doesn't
mind-
matter. It doesn't
You're
matter.
right. You're right. You're right. I agree with you. But in my mind, I didn't even see that. I didn't think that. That's
Okay.
the joke.
I don't
was,
believe
he's
that for a
scumbag
second.
Sheriff, he's literally lying to everyone. If he's going to traffic someone for profit, I wouldn't be shocked. It wasn't.
But
she's a black
human
girl.
trafficking is not slavery.
Right, and that's not what he said. He didn't say, oh, time to send her to the human traffickers. No, he was like, oh, sell her into slavery. She's too valuable to escape. Don't let her get away. She's a slave. That's the joke. And it's not funny. It's fucking disgusting.
No. Again, like he has this like connection between trafficking and slavery. But what slavery and what human trafficking are 2 completely different things.
Yeah, that what he just said makes no sense at all. It doesn't apply to what the joke was. It doesn't apply to the
It'd be me
situation.
being like, you know, those giraffes that can't fly, and you mean like, what do you mean? You know, the ones that walk in the snow, and you're like, penguins? I'm like, yeah. He goes, that's a bird. No, a giraffe. I wasn't seeing species.
I have no fucking clue what you're talking
Exactly.
about. All right, moving on.
The slave trade, and that's stupid of me. Why the hell did I not make that connection in my head?
You absolutely
Because
made
I'm
that
still there.
connection, you lying
You know, I
douche.
admit that I'm dumb.
I don't know if I believe that.
Well, at least
You don't have to. That's fine.
You know
don't
what,
have to believe
Adam?
me.
Adam, dude, at the start of this, I was talking about how I hated your guts, and I think you were kind of a douchebag. But I'm on the same page you are, dude.
I don't believe that one. He has a cat on his lap. He's cool.
Yeah, I apologize. I eat my own words. You know, that's on me. I made a bad call. I had listened to this at work, and I guess, because I was working, I wasn't picking up on things. I wasn't getting the context of what was happening in the interview. And now that I'm actually sitting here focusing on it and analyzing it the way that I should have been, yeah, Phil, what the fuck is?
I can't make you believe me. I didn't think of it at one moment. Did I ever think, oh, she's a black girl, make a slavery joke? Absolutely not. It was
Yes, you
about
did.
child
I added a little
trafficking,
lie for
essentially,
that.
This guy would have probably done that because he's such a piece
Okay,
of garbage.
so I just need to say he keeps bringing this up, and we have stated that child trafficking and slavery are two very different things, but they should state it.
Right. I mean, they go hand in hand with each other. Human trafficking is slave trade, but in the context that he's using it in, it's not the same
And
thing.
it's not like it is, but it's not in the way like it. There's a reason it's stated differently.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason that, yeah, right.
Like if human trafficking was just another form of slavery, we would still just say slavery.
Mhm.
But human trafficking is very different from slavery in like the core premise of it.
It's still selling and buying of, but it is different, and I think it's probably, I don't know. We're gonna
We're
move
not
on.
gonna get deeper into that. I don't know what you're about to say, and I don't think I want to know.
Let's talk about your. I feel like we can. I feel like we can go on for, for an hour about this clip, but
Oh, what, you want to move on to something?
Don't.
Don't.
Our show coming up, folks.
right. Let's talk about this. So it seems like your biggest detractors are some of
Why are
your
they called
earliest
that?
fans. They were fans who have turned into detractors.
All right, you know what? We're actually gonna stop it here at 45 minutes of 5 hours. 5 hours, guys. We didn't
Why?
even make it through an hour of this.
Why? Okay, do you know the reason he calls them detractors?
That's just what they're referred.
Because
They're trolls, but they're also referred to as detractors. That's not just a.
okay, it's so weird because every time I hear trolls, not detractors. This is the first time I've heard that. Like you,
Yeah, that's. I'm going to keep this counter, by the way. I'm going to keep it in OBS so that when we start this up again tomorrow, we're not going to lose our count. Bill, 15 years ago, and 4 absolutely, without question, just straight up lies that I know for a fact or not. But yeah, that is going to do it for this, guys. We're going to be live again here in just a few with Age of Empires 4, Kings vs. Queens. It's going to be a fantastic time. I hope to see some of you guys there. And anyways, Brandon, thanks for watching this with me. It was a pretty fun discussion hall.
all we did was discuss. We didn't really watch anything.
Well, that's the whole purpose of this.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
it's fair.
It's a discussion. It's the discussion hall. So yeah, like I said, that is gonna do it for us for this episode. We will catch you guys here in a little bit with Age of Empires 4. Stay tuned for that. Till then, bye.
Bye bye.